What should we have in the glue gun left over? I got one stick. See, I think that's basically about it. One stick. One stick. Alright, that's enough. We gotta do. We're going on anything crazy. There's that tin of YouTube. Let's make a greater lift of weights. Yeah, definitely using this. Just somewhere. All over and chicken? Maybe not. I bet you don't have any of the templates for the power supply. Probably lost every single one of them. I'm going to clean out the air cleaner after we got it cleaned. Where is my knife? That's over here. That's over here. There. Now we got one template. Guarantee what I got one. Frightened. Something. You got it? Got another one over here too. Here, tackle. It's in plastic and oh, we went in plastic, we had to get it. What the world? It's not here, nothing. In plastic, we had to get it. $1 a gauge. It's not bad at all. It's actually really good. Alright, let me see. We can use this right here. You never put the power supplies in it. We haven't. Or is this it? I think this is one of them. Let's see. You heard me. I'll kick your butt. What's wrong with you? Being a jerk. You know better than that. What's wrong with you? Stand there for being a jerk. You know better than that, buddy. Always when I'm about to do something, you try to do something dumb. Every single time like clockwork. what you call it? Templates, brother. There's no templates here, bro. It's a bad box. Put everything in there. You have your stuff. You have everything you need. Keep using everything. It's driving me crazy. You make these parts over and over again. Okay. Mess. My brushes, rollers, what do you have here? This is perfect. Using whatever we have left. That's what we're doing. Build a case. Much stuff here, but this will do. Small form factor PC. I'm building my case for this. Motherboard, liquid cooling system, power supply. That's it. This is only as big as we can make it. This way. Feet. Or we can do it this way, which I think would be awkward looking. I think we're gonna go with the feet this way. This box is much thinner than the usual box that we use. I actually got one of these by accident. So it's much thinner, it's much taller than the other box. So I thought, this will make a great PC. And we got gauges, which I was trying to find, and I found these for $1. So, I'm going to turn this thing into a rustic relic pipe system with gauges. I'm going to stain the glass to make it look like it's been around for decades. We're going to hook our power supply right here in the center. We have to build a scaffold system so it stays right there. And we're going to run all the piping from this. We're going to turn the power supply to make it look like it's running off steam. Valves, the whole entire thing, 9 yards. Well, put all that in, and we're going to corrode some of the wires. Some of the wiring is going to be real, some of it's going to be fake. Some of the wires are going to be skinned, so it has a kind of corrosion look to it, like it's functioning, and get a weird look to it. And we're actually going to add a screen, right about there. We're going to picture frame it, because we want it to look steampunk. I'm going to picture frame a screen about that size. A nice little gaudy frame. It's real nice. We'll play our games off of it. So I'll start from here. So those of you who are not familiar with my work, this is what they turn into when we're done. That's one we're building right there. That's going to have a complete entire fantasy world in there. I want to build a Candyland PC, but I want to show you how to take a regular ping pong ball and turn it into a hard piece of candy. Don't leave that thing laying around, please. It's going to take basically some regular red paint. We're going to change it, make it a little more shiny to it, and then we're going to use some nail polish protector to give it a nice shine to it, wrap it up. We're going to make all our candy inside of our case of Rio. We're going to make a little Candyland PC. I've been dying to make one of those for a long time. We'll get around to it. But I want to make the cases smaller. The smaller we make the cases, the better chance we have of basically having a little more of these around. So let's get the cutting on this so we know where everything's going to be at. So motherboards, of course, are going to be micro ATX. So I was trying to go the route. Hey, how you doing? Hello? Okay, stand it. See you later. The call, they're just looking at the rain. Because I've got to get somewhere, get things done. All right, let me see. So we have to map everything out. Power supply on that side. Liquid cooling. Motherboard here. We'll do a single liquid cooling. I would love to have the liquid cooling pipes wrap around. They're going to have to look metal. Metal piping with metal. Everything's going to have to look made. It's made out of metal. Everything. Copper, piping, all of it's going to have to look realistic. Power supply is here. So power supply is going to have all the wires and stuff come through one side and out the other. This side. Gonna make our fan grills, everything all out of cardboard. That's right there for that. Motherboard's gonna go here, so we really can't put motherboard in yet. Because somebody threw away a dummy board. We should never got rid of to begin with. So I have to buy me another motherboard. We need the dummy board to map everything out. Yeah, don't even think about it. Don't get in any trouble. I'm watching you right now. Go ahead. Go play. Stay out of trouble. Yeah, like a fucking 5-year-old comes outside and just stares right at me. Just don't get in any trouble. You understand? Okay, go. Have fun. So let me see. All this sparked off from these guys. That's where it all came from. What I saw in my head. All right, let's get the cutting on this thing. And we got to paint it and all that other good stuff. What we're doing here. And for those of you who, at the end of the day, we go through this with naysayers that are mad about the things we do and they try to disrupt. What the frick is going on with the sand in the cable? They try to disrupt whatever we do. Why do we have this plugged in? They're charged. Because I'm going to report you. I'm going to report you. They were in here yesterday because I had to have them come in because they're a part of the organization that basically from City Hall that it's going to help my company get where it needs to get to, and they had to come here and see it. So they saw the bookcase made out of cardboard. And no, didn't get in trouble for it. As I told you before, I'm a very thorough person about book rules and regulations. That's why I have all these documents on my company, because that's one of the things they asked for. I think if I knew this was going to be against the law, I wouldn't have done it. So, you sound like a bunch of 3-year-old tattletales. I'm gonna go tell. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so those you don't know. Yeah, we had a bunch of trolls in here. You know they are. Usuals. They crown and whine everything we do. Yeah, made this whole... I'm telling you. Makes you think sometimes. Some people are just really at the end of the day, or I hate to put it this way, I'm not going to say it because that'd be wrong to say, but you got to grow up. They're fascinated by the PCs, by the way. They never seen anything like them. It's funny because I'm always fascinated by somebody else's work. I see people design stuff like, wow, that's incredible. The man hours they put into building that at the end of the day is fascinating. Power supply. I'm going to build a pipe system tomorrow. Pipe system is made out of toilet paper, dispenser rolls, not the cardboard but the plastic ones. Since we got a cutter over there, we can basically piece together like Legos. Power supply. And this is fantastic for those of you who don't want to spend the money for PC cases because they can be expensive. You build it yourself. Make your own case. And that's why I admire about people who mod. They figure out ways how to build their own cases. Once you take apart a PC multiple times, you put it back together, you start getting to a point you start thinking, man, I can just stick this thing in anything I want, and you get to that point. We're also going to run real screws in here. Multiple screws. Because we have to make it look real. We have to make this thing look like it's made out of metal. So we have to run screws in it. That's going to be fun. All the screws have to be individually painted so they look like they've been here for a while. We're at 3 pieces we're building. We got a freaking Fallout PC over there we're building. We got this one over here we're building, and we got this one right here we're putting together right now. We're just building our cases to get everything ready for parts. And I came out here to just show people an easier way how to put PCs together, you know? And for people who mod, because I learn stuff from people who mod every day. Always watching what somebody else is doing, like, wow, that's pretty cool. I want to try that. And they're cool enough to put that stuff on there so people can learn. But you always got jerks out there at the end of the day that want to basically spoil the fun for everybody else. I'm telling you. Oh, yeah, okay, sure. Thank you for those of you who do mod PCs or mod consoles and take the time to post those beautiful designs. I really enjoy watching them. But I also see the haters in those comment sections. Bitter. Gee, how bitter this one gotta be. So, there we go. That's where our PC is going to, our power supply is going to be a little different. The other power supply actually sinks into the case. The other one over there doesn't. It's a power supply that sinks in. So that power supply is going to need some backing. Which means we're going to have to make this solid. Since that's the piece we got from here anyway, put it right back. But we're going to make sure it's going to be nice and sturdy for the power supply. So we need scissors. Oh, yes, we have scissors on hand. I never can find these things. The same piece we used. Put it right back. That part we don't need is more like the bottom piece we need. Somebody one time put a PC in a pizza box. Well, that was freaking cool. With our stilts. The neighbors would stop complaining so much. You learned something. They're on every channel. It's not my channel. They're on every freaking channel. Go on any channel. Somebody's building a birdhouse. Somebody's building a deck. Somebody's painting. They're in there. Complaining. I read your comments. And they're complaining. Now, the reason why you don't have a YouTube channel, you have a fake channel, because you don't want people coming to your channel and basically shooting you down. That's what you don't want. Or maybe you might just attract trolls just like you. It's just easier to have fake accounts and hate on other people's stuff. Remember, everything in life comes with penalties. You never think you get away with anything. Everything comes with a penalty. You pay for it. Think you do or not, you pay for it. I can't imagine the people who commit crimes and think they get away with it and then wake up and on the other side and go, oh shoot. It's real. This world is actually, the next world is real. Imagine the shock on one's face. Wake up on that side. Yep, it's real. Alright, got our stilts here. Where's glue gun? That's what I need. That's the freaking whole thing. We don't get the glue gun. We can't put the whole thing together. Where are you, glue gun? Say, oh my goodness, he's gonna start talking about God again. He's gonna start talking about Jesus. What do you think taught me all this stuff? See? You know, you don't give thanks to God, God takes it away from you. That's what happens. He takes it away from you. You appreciate those blessings, God will take it away from you and give it to somebody else. Somebody else will get it. Somebody else will get your blessings. Two kids and one doesn't appreciate and one does appreciate. You know, once they're like, I don't want this, you know, blah, blah, blah. What do? You give it to the other one. All right, you don't want it? Here, give it to your brother. I already got the blueprints already in my head. I can see the piece already built. It's already in my head, already built. Or just show me how to put the whole thing together. I can put a PC in a Nike box. I actually did that. Put a PC in an Air Jordan box with that. Air Jordan collectible box. Put in there. I'm going to do a cereal box one day. It's going to be pretty sick. I'm going to do Lucky Charms, have a bowl pushing out of it. Liquid cooling system. The liquid cooling reservoir is going to be actual cereal bowl. So we can turn the liquid into like milk. It's like a milk color to it. You know, I'm blown away how fast that information comes in my head. Yup. I told you, yeah, I got this project I'm working on, which is involved water filtration and hydroelectric energy. And Lord bless me with the schematics on how to build a power station without the need of having a lake. Which I built a prototype. It's at my home front. It's actually running. It's actually powering a TV. I actually built it already. Yep, I'm gonna go get a patent. Get a mechanical patent for it. Built that thing already. So here's the interesting thing. When I'm on the home front, I build other stuff. When I'm here, I build another thing. So, when you really think you know me, you don't know me. How can you hate on that when you don't even know what it's at and where it's at and what it's doing? So that shows you at the end of the day. See, if I did just one thing, that'd be a different story, but I do many things. So, you don't know anything about it, how it's designed, how it's built. So how can you hate on it? You don't even know what it is. What does Omega look like? The Omega projection screens, what do they look like? You don't know. I know. You can't hate on it until I show it to you. That shows you how sad you are. You can only hate on what allows you to see. What you don't see, you can't hate on because you don't know what it is. So that's what makes you sad. You see? So how does it get in my head like that? I've been in your head. I've been in your head since day one. The day you started hating on my stuff, I've been in your head already. I've been there rent-free. I can design stuff. I can design a product, put a bunch of hype behind it. It's not even real. You will hate on it. Just to use it to just play games with you and then pull it and laugh at you. See what I mean? It's that easy. I said haters are easy to play around with. When I started building things out of cardboard, they were in here ranting in my channel. You don't know what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. Talking all this trash. Just running their mouths. Da-da-da-da-da-da. I got somebody who already offered me to sell these machines, these cardboard machines. They want to buy them. Look at them, they mad already. They get angry already. All I do is win. Come on. You mad about that? You mad because all I do is win? They're upset, angry. We're going to get more money? Yeah, I'm going to get more money. That's what I'm going to do. I might sell these. A buddy of mine coming in. He does this kind of stuff like I do. He's interested in it. He wants to work on it. I'm going to incorporate our screens into them. You know, when you start to go dancing, I'm actually building me one over there. And I'm building a smaller one out of this one. I mean, as I said before, my videos go everywhere. As I showed you, all I have to do is just type in 100,000 lux of sunlight projection screen, or did we come up? So any companies for that technology, they know us. You're the only one that did it. No one else did it. It means we're coming in hot. And by the way, that video I just shot, coming in hot. Oh, that's a challenge, by the way. Do you know? It's a challenge video. Okay, put our little sections in here. Okay. He gotta fail one day. He always do that. And when I did all this testing, they come and they think that he gotta fail one day. One day he gotta fail. Well, if I fail, it means God fails. So that means the things he just told me to do and how to do it, that means he lied to me. God doesn't lie. God doesn't fail. Good luck on that. That nice support. See that? All that comes from Jesus. Everything we doing here all comes from God. Put a nice little support down in there. Can we get down in there? There we go. Christians know. Christians on my channel be popping up telling me, yeah, Ken, I hear you. I hear you. They hear me. They know what I'm talking about. Christians that are on my channel hear what I'm talking about. And we acknowledge you. We know you're here. We know you're here. Yep. Better wake up. Better wake up. No game. No, I gotta cross this bridge. I don't know where it came from. Never had a fear of bridges. I even jumped off a bridge on a bungee. Never been afraid of bridges at all whatsoever. And boom, out of nowhere, this phobia popped up. Fear of bridges. And I know that's the devil at the end of the day. So I got this bridge I gotta cross. So I can pay my debit card and pay my bill, or I can walk over there. But in order to walk over there, I gotta cross a bridge I don't like. And I cross that bridge every single time it's time to pay my bill. You know why? Because that builds my faith up at the end of the day. Then I'm willing to cross that bridge. If the Lord tells me I can cross it, I cross it. That's what I do. It builds my faith up. The devil will always put a fear in my heart that the bridge is going to collapse or I'm going to fall over the side or whatever. But what I do is I play my Christian music and I see Jesus on the other side. And Jesus says, come to me. So I'm going regardless. My fears are not. I go right over that bridge and I go meet my Lord. That's what I do. And that's how I conquer my fears. So if the Lord tells me to come across that bridge and meet me, I'm going across that bridge. Yep. So now I've conquered the bridge. I had to go see a psychiatrist, none of that whatsoever. People do have a fear. It's a fear of bridges. It's actually a real thing. But I developed it somewhere, just popped up out of nowhere. Never had a fear of walking over a bridge until boom, that happened. I mean, real breakdown, scared, move back, yeah, all that stuff. But I'm not going to let the devil get that kind of victory on me. So I sat there and prayed and put it in God's hands. So when I crossed the bridge, the Lord says, I'm on the other side. And what are you going to do? You're going to sit over there? You're going to come see me. And I said, I'm going to come see you, Lord. I'll walk the bridge. Yep. The victory you feel when you cross over that bridge and meet Jesus is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Yep. That faith got to be built up. It takes time to build that faith up. It does. It takes time. It took me years and years and years to build that faith up. I have gotten to the point I've had doubt and all that stuff that popped up in my head. It took time for me to get to that point in my life. I had to go through a lot in Christian boot camp to learn how to have that faith. Yep. Got a nice little shelf in there. A nice shelf. I like watching those old films that teach you. They had films on teach you on manners, how to eat at a table, grooming, stuff like that. They're from the 1950s, that era. I like watching those. It's interesting. Back then, people wore suits all the time. The kids even wore ties and all that stuff. Once in a while, you see them in some rolled-up jeans and a T-shirt with some plaid on. And most of the time, they wore suits. And it was yes, sir, no, ma'am. They were like different. And then you see what happens in this era. Like, good gracious! Like, what the freak happened? Did you ever watch Leave It to Beaver? That people were really like that. The respect line was so high up, you never would talk back to an elder or an adult, anybody whatsoever. It was unheard of, you know? Wow, just see how much has changed, you know? They wore suits all the time, ties all the time, you know? Yep. But still, not good era. Not good era for my people. Nope. No. We had that discussion about time machines. Time machine does not benefit the black man in any way whatsoever. It just doesn't. It's not for us. It's not a machine for us. It's not for us. We can go back to I could go back to the 80s. The 80s would be nice to go back. That's as far as we're going. It's the 80s. That's it. The 80s, and I wouldn't go near the future. I'm scared to death what the future holds. I don't even want to know. I know we won't have any racist nonsense, but I don't want to know what's going on. Like, how jacked up it's going to be. 'Cause I've already seen the future we got now, and it's jacked up. So I don't think I want to go back and. No, I'm good. No, but, um, the going back to the 1800s. Oh, that would be nice. I would love. I'm a history buff. I would love that kind of. Yeah, right. Not for me. I can't. I still got a machine that can change my skin color. I can go back. Can't go back to that time. No. It's not for us. We're like, why? Why can't you go back? Because the black man was considered to be free. That's why we can't go back. We weren't free. And even when we were free, we still weren't free. That's when people don't understand about history at the end of the day. They think because slavery was abolished that we still didn't have no freedom. I mean, come on, man. That freaking racial tension went on for a while. Even in the 1970s, it was still kicking. You know? Now, for people if people to get butthurt about this, it happened. You got to accept that part about history. You just can't blot out a whole entire section of history and go, well, it never even happened, because it did happen. It happened. So the thing about it is, I got friends of mine are Caucasians, and they get guilty. What the freak are you guilty about? Like, man, I feel bad. What did you do? Were you there? Did you hang anybody? Did you beat anybody? No, you didn't do that. You have no responsibility for what they did back in the day. Yeah, people that march, and you have African Americans sometimes will say, well, white people, no, you can't say that. There are white people that march along with Martin Luther King that were against that. You got to look at it this way. In every race of people, you got bad apples and you got good apples, and that's how it works. You can't hate everybody for everything. And I got people who subscribe to my channel that can't stand me because I'm African American. Yet they're on my channel watching me every day. I have no idea why, but they are. So that's that. Weird, but they're on there. Don't I make a funnel system on here, like a port? Got to make a port on it because it's gonna have to stand out a little bit. It's gonna have to. I have to build a funnel for this. Do we even have the working funnels, the little funnels for these things? Where do we get that from? Do we even have a box over here? I didn't even buy. I forgot we didn't get anything. I have to put a funnel. When we have one, don't we have any things laying around that we don't use? We can collect a little bit. A little further. Oh, I know we had these before. What had happened? You know, I can't think all happy. The only person who speaks my mind to this. That's how I am. Get mad at me for this morning. Don't like it. You get when I speak my mind. When I say this, I love all races of people. I love everybody. I just the person who speaks my mind. That's all. I'll say that next person. I speak my mind. Rough for some burgers. I speak my mind. That's how I am. We have one around here, son. Trying to disrupt the power supply here. And maybe not. I don't know. I want the power supply to stick out just a little bit. I do. I don't want it to be so flush. I need it to stick out a little bit. Yeah, that's this right there. It's perfectly right there. That's right up against it. We're nicely. So we're going to be using this. That's going to be our turbine. But to change that, that's going to require some wires. All the wires will be individually coded anyway. Springs and pipes and cords and valves and all that good stuff. You know, it happens. Street. Street 101. At the end of the day, it's not bad. You didn't do anything wrong. You did that, right? What are you? Still my family, Disney, no matter what. Good brothers. Oh, yeah, right in here. We did it from right here. It's too deep in there, man. Ah, 10 plates. Too late. Already coming. Can't even see that, can you? wire the back. I need that. Make your own props. Nothing starts up easy. It doesn't work that way. So basically, I saw the simple structure in my head, and now the Lord is adding to the structure of what we're building. So everything we do is in His name. The Lord wants to show it in the day He represents. This is where you come in there with a nice extra fine brush and you do your detail work. Well, the part that will cut it right off. Really should have landed somewhere. I saw the parts right there. I missed another part. Cut you off. Let me see. Where are you at? Where are you at? Come on. There you are. There's one part you have to have. The other part has to be there too. 3, 4. I just cut it off. Let me see. Do I need any drawer? Where'd you go? Where's the parts, Steve? Where is, oh, here. No, that's not it. That's not it. There has to be 2 parts to the thing. Can't be just one. There's a part to it. It's got to be here somewhere. Where are you? That escaped me. Going somewhere. Don't know where it went. It went somewhere. Don't know where it went. Cut it off. Let me check every place. It's got to be somewhere. We need the other piece. This nice little attachment. Which is a nice little show to it. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I just cut that thing off. There's no way in the world we could have lost something that fast. That quick on the desk. No. It's gotta be here somewhere. There's all the pieces we just cut. That's the piece we have here. That's the piece we have here. It had to go into the drawer. It had to. There's no other way. There's no other way. It had to go into the drawer. There's nothing that's going to disappear out of here just like that. It had to go somewhere. That other piece of a nice attachment. A nice attachment to what I wanted to do. There's no way in the world it could disappear like that. Isn't that marvelous? And we know what? I just had that piece. I cut it off just a few minutes ago. I wonder if it's just staring me dead in the face right here. It's not staring me dead in the face. So where the freak did it go? That's the charge for the power supply. That's not it. Whatever that is, I don't know what it is. Alright. I'm racking my brains on where this thing just went to. So let's see if we're going to work through that. Some extra stuff right here. It's right here. That's nothing to do with it. It's not there. It's not there. Okie doke. That's a new one for today. Just a whole freaking piece of this. There it is, right there on the floor. I swear it scares me sometimes. Just literally looked on the floor. I found nothing, and then it just pops up on the floor. Yeah. We better stop playing them games. We know who we serve. Let me see. Be nice stuff there. What are you hooked on? For goodness sake, you. It's hooked on you. see you. Come on. Don't fight me. Don't fight me. Too short, maybe. And that's how we do it, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. We can pin this whole process. We multiple wires over and over and over again. Give it a turbine kind of look to it. This in right here, we're going to take and wrap copper around it over and over and over again. Gives it that realistic look to it. This takes hours to do, by the way. But just give you an idea of what we're doing here. Here, twist over here. It never starts off. In the back of my mind, I thought, this is how we're going to build. It's going to be very easy build. It never goes on that way. It never. Everything goes into complication mode. So we have to do it at another level. That's why. Oh yes, another glue stick. Thank you, Jesus. God is good. God is amazing. Thank you, Jesus. Got the glue sticks. Thank you, Lord. Okay, went to the store and just got a whole bunch of stuff. We got enough glue sticks. Oh God. Realized we built stuff in a couple of days. We built some crazy stuff. So yeah. Oh shit, I want to do something crazy. Where's that piece at? And I just saw it before, so I know where you're at. Boom. So you can't escape me. You got a whatchamacallit going over there. I freaking know whatchamacallit. So this is crazy. Where's the other parts of the thing? Don't tell me we disappeared too on here. I know I just had you. Just had you a few minutes ago. We're not playing this game today. We're just not playing this game today. So where are you? Oh, thank you, Jesus. Find it, Lord, because playing these little games today. Oh, we serve God. We don't deal with this mess. Just had it. Literally just had the piece. The other piece of this. Okay. Alright, we gotta figure we just lost that piece. I'm gonna put them both together so we don't lose them. So I'm pretty sure it's on the table. Let's see what's going on. Just had it. Let's just get through it. I'm going to test that part out. Not there, not there, not there, not there. And not there. Just clean this up a little bit here. We just had that piece. I gotta do something with these. I got a ton of these plugins. Gotta do something with these things. We gotta turn these into some kind of piping system or something. Cause I got oodles of these things. Look at this. Gotta do something with these things. You definitely gotta do something with them. Some kind of gauge system, whatever. Put a valve on top of. Oh, that'd be perfect to put a little valve on top of that. Let's see. Wow, that would make a cool looking gear, wouldn't it? Oh, definitely gotta work with that. Oh, we gotta find that piece we just lost. Something new with that. I can't track it. For some reason, it's not on the table again. Let's see what's going on. Wire from here. There. We just had that piece. I found one piece. Now we can't find the other piece. I'm gonna clear this table off. A little more confusion. Put it over there. Take our paints. Put them over here. We don't need any more of these templates. We're done with all this. Just gonna go back in here. Put these over there. Got wires here in the front. Just have that piece, but I want to connect those two together. That'll make a fantastic looking design, but for some reason it keeps disappearing. That ain't it. It's about the size what we need, but this is definitely not it. It still would work perfectly fine. I could definitely use that. Oh, no we can't. It won't fit in here. It has to be the same size that connects to there. That's the part we have to find. Woo! That thing was hot. It's on. Got burnt. Oh, let me see. Gotta find that piece I went to this. I know it can't be from this. Or was it? Was it from here? Nah, it couldn't be from there. Let's see. Table. Here. We're gonna figure out where it went to. I don't know. I literally just had it on the table, but I don't know if that's the piece right there because it looks like it. It looks like it. But usually this part fits here with no problem. Alright, we just get another piece. That's all. I've got tons of wires laying around, so good on that. I don't know where it disappeared to. That can't be that part from there. It's no way in the world that's the same part. Yeah, because this is square here, there'd have to be circle there. That's not the part there. Some of y'all may say that I may be crazy what I'm about to say, but, you know, some people go in a room and they pray evil things on you. Let me explain something to you. What have you prayed? It's coming back to you extremely upset. So again, Christian, can't explain to you enough. You are casting curses upon your head and your family's heads and everything else. You can't take a Christian down. No matter what the devil tells you, you can't. Let me explain something to you. You're working with someone who wants to kill you. I explained this multiple times to you. He knows he can't touch me. He knows that for a fact. He can't touch me. He can't harm me. He knows that. Because I'm protected by the blood. Protected by my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. That's who I'm protected by. You got to bring something. You already invited something into your house. If you did something like that, you've already invited it in. You need to find God. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. Find God. Because again, you're dealing with something that's going to make your life a living nightmare. That's what you want to do. You could use this port to do that. And I'm finding stuff along the way that I need literally for my job. I've had people send me some weird satanic stuff to try to scare me. I'm a man of God. I'm not frightened by that. You should be frightened by that. Because since you've already sent that, you invited that in. That's what you did. So you should be afraid. You gotta get on your knees and repent, man, because there's no idea what you got yourself into. Messing up this. Oh, they are like that on the other end. Oh, that's it right there. All right, then that explains a lot. Then look at the other one. Like, does it have the same conjunction? No, it's actually different. This is the same one. All right, so how do we get this thing to go in there? We're gonna have to drill this to get this thing to fit in there. Yeah, we're gonna have to drill that. Got so used to ducking. I hit that thing multiple times when I was coming. I smacked. Oh, there's the cord, Taco, for me to hook up your TV so you can watch your birds. So they all have that little slant thing right there. See it right there? Not gonna match that. But yeah, don't do stuff like that. Very, very stupid thing to do. You know. I remember I found this guy Love You track that was about these girls. I might have told you about that. They were inside of a Catholic school, and these girls hated this girl. She was a Christian. They couldn't stand her. They hated her guts. These girls worshiped the devil. And they thought it would be a good idea to summon this demon to attack this girl. They didn't tell the demon that the girl was a Christian, because he wouldn't have gone. So this demon leaves to go attack this Christian girl, and comes back beat up pretty bad. I mean, wings are broken, freaking bleeding, barely made it out alive. Yes, he was screaming at the other girl. It's like, you never told me she was a Christian. I got met by a legion of angels, and I barely made it out alive. You know what he did? He took that anger out on those girls. See? That's the same thing that happened to me when I threatened my brother-in-law's life with a gun. I was acting in the way of the devil. And I threatened a Christian, and there, behold, in front of me were 3 individuals that I could not see their faces, but I saw that gun pointed right at my forehead. I can feel the cold steel right against my forehead. And I can literally see the bullets in the chamber. It's a revolver. I can see the bullets in the chamber. All you had to do was squeeze him. Go on, just like that. Lord had to teach me a lesson. Lesson well taught. So I know the outcome. When you wish evil on someone, it'll come right back to you. Especially when they're Christians. Now people might say, but I don't wish evil on anybody at the end of the day. I take you to court and I sue you because that's what I'm supposed to do. You break the law, you file a charge against you. That's how the world works. I can never understand people at the end of the day who don't understand that part, how the world works. That's how it works. You do dumb stuff, you go to jail. That's how it works. People get all new in that part right there. Like, I don't even know. I don't understand. You definitely understand. That's how it works. I understood. I didn't complain about it. I understand how the whole entire system worked. I did something dumb. I went to jail. That's it. The end. End of story. It's nobody else's fault but mine. I don't blame the judge. I don't blame the person who snitched on me. I don't blame anybody. I blame myself because I messed up. That's how that works. And I'm thankful that God gave enough grace to allow me to be able to be here having a conversation right now, because it didn't have to go that way. He could have allowed the DA to get his way and I would have got 80 years in jail. Nope. Mind you, I ignored him all that time. I threatened his Christians at the end of the day. I did everything under the book. I even burnt the Bible. Burnt pages in the Bible. That's how much I hated God. And he could have easily destroyed me. Easily. That would have me all pumped up like I couldn't be touched. Like I had immortality. No one could touch me. No one could touch me. I couldn't die. All kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah. Twist my head all up. And the Lord, after all that, everything that I went through, he still saved my life. Isn't that amazing? Yep. That's amazing. All those people who try to kill me, not one of them could lay one hand on me. Not one. Every single one of them. Either they got saved or they met their demise. Not one. Not one. It's a shame. Was I happy when they died? Was I happy when they ended up getting AIDS and dying of sickness and illness? No, I felt bad for them. Because I knew where they were going. I told you I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. When you tell somebody to go to hell, do you understand what you're saying? You understand where you are sending them. You will end there yourself. That's a word you don't want to tell people, then they just go to hell. It's a very horrible place. It's a place meant for the devil. As some people tell me that, oh no, we live, hell's on earth. This is hell on earth. Yeah, apparently you haven't read Old Testament, you haven't read Revelations, have you? Look at you sniffing them wires to the wire technician over there. You haven't read Revelations, have you? We're just going to skip that whole section, are we not? We'll skip that whole section there like, it didn't happen. No idea, people. Christians know. We got Christians on this channel. They contact me from time to time. They know. People don't want to read the Bible. Guess what? Devil knows the Bible. Yep, he knows the Bible. He knows it. From back to front, he knows it. He knows it. So you better know it. I'm still amazed by that every day. I'm amazed by that every day. That the Lord still saved my life. Multiple times at that. Is he over there doing his thing? He is. Hey. I know you got to do that, right? To clean yourself, but you've been in there too many times a day. My cat's funny. You're good. I didn't mean to embarrass you. Like, I'll give you some treats. He gave me this look like, man, you got to put me on blast like that. I got you for some treats, man. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. My bad, Taco. My bad. I got you for some treats, okay? I got you. You jerk. Now, some people say, oh, he tells us that because he's trying to scare us. You have no idea what fear is. You really just don't know. You have no idea. You have no idea. You really just don't know. I've seen things. You really have no idea. If you think I'm trying to scare you, trust me, there are plenty of things around you, Robbie, looking at you right now that are enough to make your skin crawl at the end of the day. That's what I'm thankful I got Jesus to have my back. Oh, I saw that guy again today too. He says a cart that says God loves you. God loves you. There's carts all over the place. I'm getting some real cool lights. I'm hooking up a battery pack system for it so his sign lights up. I support your call, brother. Yep. He pushes that cart everywhere. All over Allentown. Up and down those hills, that cart. Determined to spread the word of Jesus. I love that dedication. I love it. I love that dedication. I love that dedication. I love it. See if I get a chance to talk to him. Help him light up his cart. Help him with his calls. Spreading the word of Jesus. Those people will walk around on the earth and you ignore God. He's warning you. The Lord gave you the opportunity to see what's around you. You would run to him. You'd run to him screaming, crying, begging, Lord, 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 please protect me. If you even knew what was around you. Is that right, Taco? Yep. And people just say, how can you work in areas? This elf is old, it's historical. You're not afraid to be here this late? No. What's out there needs to fear my Lord. And they do fear my Lord. You know, when Jesus came here, they knew who he was. They were terrified of him. They were like, what are you doing here? Oh, you're not supposed to be here. It's not the time yet. You're not supposed to be here. Jesus told him, you got to go. I'm doing my Father's work. Terrified of Jesus. Yep, terrified of God. Now, I'm terrified. Truly terrified. Almighty God. Wow, I think about my mother right now. She's in heaven with seeing God's face. See how amazing that is at the end of the day? She's a true blue Christian. She's seeing God's face. She smiled when she died. She was seeing God as she was passing over. She basically was singing hymns, praising the Lord. Just passing over. She didn't tell us anything because she couldn't tell us anything. It wasn't we weren't meant to know what she was seeing. But she was smiling. She was happy. Imagine, she's in heaven right now with the Lord. She made it. She made it to the other side. We sat there at the party celebrating her birth. Not her death and crying and mourning, but her birth, her happiness, her new body, her new home. She's in a place beyond we could ever imagine. Yep. I'm going to get there myself. One day, when my time comes, I'm going to get there. I'm going out singing and praising the Lord. What I'm going to do. Yeah. But while I'm here, I'm going to talk about Jesus. I'm going to talk about Jesus every day. I'm going to praise his name every day. I'm going to pass out God Love You tracks every day. That's what I'm going to do. Just like my mom never gave up on me, I ain't going to give up on anybody else. I think that everybody has that right to be saved. Find Jesus. Plug one in. Oh, sorry, wrong path. Plug one in. Yep. Let's see. After all that we've been through, I will make it up to you. I promise you. Let's see. Okay, what are you singing now? Like, I have no idea. I have no idea. Taco Bear with the crazy hair. Taco Bear with the crazy hair. Is that right? What are you talking about? So fuzzy. You can't help it. He's furry. Skinning our wires. With Jesus. Yep. I walked down mountain just to see my Lord. I got a busted cable now. Nope. After all that's been said and done, and we got feet going in there. be hitting your feet. And on the feet. On the feet. And after all has been said, I'm just a holiday, just for the day. I don't know why I got that song stuck in my head. I have no idea. It's in there. Now, how do we get the line to basically glow? EL wire with a delay system on it. Or basically, we can put a strobe through it, give it that electricity effect to it. That's what we like to do. Going over there running right now. What goes on here? Liquid cooling system, which fits on top of here. Liquid cooling, cut at a port right in there so that air can push right through. So liquid cooling system here, 120 millimeter liquid cooling system. That's what goes through there. Leave enough of a support there so air can push from here underneath all around there. Power supply sits here. Air can push from here. Anything can channel from here right directly to power supply. So all cables and wires from here hook here. But I'd rather have the wires and stuff going to a piping system we can pipe in and out. Cut the piping system so we can allow wires to connect wherever we want it to go. Alright, what's what you call that? The legs. Where are my legs? Right there. Over here. Okay. Legs are here. Now, if we have from here to here, this is where the motherboard's going to sit here. Motherboard is going to be here on this side. Motherboard's going to be here. Power supply is going to be here, which is going to channel up in here. So we're definitely going to need a port there. Definitely a port there for power supply. Oh, power supply and feet. I'm going to do something with these. I can see valves here. As a matter of fact, for these on the valve system here, I definitely want to connect those to pipes. Oh yeah, that would definitely work. That would be sick. That would definitely work. Alright, that gives me an idea for that down there, for the feet. Could do something crazy with the feet. The feet have to be something weird and crazy to them. Plenty of those, we can use that for something. This one right here is going to be sparked right here. For that. Definitely want to spark that. So power supply is here. I'm gonna have port here for that, for the power supply that way down. We can put that later on. So this will be, I'm gonna put a port here. So cables and wires are gonna come through this section right here to connect into here. Liquid cooling system is gonna be here. But I don't want to run liquid cooling systems because we want to run liquid cooling systems directly through power supply. Because I can change my fans out. I can put in a 4,000 RPM into there and override the motherboard connecting to there. We want to use one single system. We have to paint the entire system, all of it, to make it look like it's copper and corroded. A little bit of asbestos. So that'll be right there. For that there and there. Power button, we don't know yet. I haven't decided on what kind of power button. We're going to have to structure a power button. Get what we want, get what we need out of this. So this is from here to here. From there, power supply. And of course, we're going to have a screen here. And this is good to fit at. So let's get to the legs first. Legs here. So we're going to know what we need to do from there. I want to do something with these. I can put a pipe from here to here. Oh yeah, definitely would work. All right, give me this. I know we got another one of these here. You gotta have one of these things a lot. Well, let's get another one. What the freak did we do with the whatchamacallits, the bottles? I do got another one right here. What do we do with the bottles? The bottles connect at the bottom, right? So what do we do with the bottles? I need to figure that out. I'm going to the hardware store tomorrow. I got stuff to buy for this thing. Because at least I can start working on this case. So we got these right here. Give me a pen. Wait. So this is going to be here. It'll be on the outside of the case. Case is going to be in there. Okay, so we don't touch that at all. No. Make sure you get that in there. And that because it has to sit right in there. Something here. I see the craziest ideas in my head right now. Just the craziest ideas. I'm building this. This is going to be the most kookiest, craziest looking. It's kind of a cat and hat kind of theme to it, but also too like a kind of a Dr. Seuss kind of wild look to it. Oh yeah, this is going to be beautiful. It's going to run a pipe system here and a pipe system here. And that pipe system is going to be another piece we drill in here to connect another pipe. It's going to ride the side all around this. So it gives it this kind of look right here. Like this. I want to have a little bit of lip there. And then we'll basically put a gauge right there. Let me see gauge more like right there. And we'll put a valve here. All this has to be individually painted. So we have to paint all this so it has detail. Like I did the steam pump, last steam pump machine, everything had to be individually painted. So I'm going to put these in right now because all this is going to be turned black. And then we individually paint everything. Everything can be used. That's the thing about when you basically are modding, everything it becomes art. That's what I'm saying. People do abstract art, and they have this pile of stuff sitting over there like, what's that? It's just junk. Like, no, that's not junk. That's art. You got to see what they're seeing at the end of the day. I see something. You see an air freshener? I see a power station. That's what I see. It's like those paintings they had back in the day in the 80s, where they had that abstract art on them, and people just couldn't see it. They're like, I don't see it. I don't get it. I don't see it. And you're like, it's right there. It's a flying saucer. It's right there. It's staring you in the face. Like, I don't see a flying saucer. Yeah, it's like that. So imagine my world's like when I walk around and I look at stuff, I see things differently than everybody else sees things. I don't see the world like everybody sees it. When you see air freshener, I see something completely different. I see power station. That's what I see. That's what I see. I see a power station. I think we should have went a little bit more to that end. Here. Let's try it again. This thing does not want to go down. It does not really want to go down. It's frightening me, people. It's frightening me. Here we go. Maybe it won't go. Oh, it's fighting me. I know it's fighting me. It wants to go heavy. I don't want to go heavy because I don't want to use too much glue because we need it for something else. But it is going heavy. It's fighting me a little bit. We can always go back in and reapply with the big stuff. I got to come back in here anyway with more glue tomorrow. I just want to get an idea of what I'm putting together. That gives me the idea. Where's the other part of it? Oh, no. There we go. Maybe things would come in handy for something. Oh, this came from a gauge, believe it or not, a gauge. I was in the hardware store, I wasn't really looking for a gauge. I was looking at something to break a 10. I had to go get something. And I'm looking around, trying to find something, and I see this box, and it's a gauge. I'm like, oh my goodness, there are gauges, and I can use that. For a PC, something I wanted to do, I needed gauges for it. Couldn't find any. And there they were in the back, and right there, staring me in the face. And I'm thinking like, okay, how much are these? And he said, $1. I was like, oh, $1. That is a blessing. $1. Nope, that can't be there. It has to be a little farther up. Yeah, a little farther up. There we go. Because we need that, those feet. It can't hit there. Yep, $1. $1. And then that's when it came, when I picked it up, boom, that's what the whole idea just blew in my head. Just gave me the instructions on how to build this. And I was like, okay, this is what we're building. I had people in the art community tell me that they pick up something and they see a whole different, like a tire. You just see this whole idea just blowing right like, oh shoot. Yep, that's what it feels like. It's an unbelievable feeling. Like you pick up something and you can see an entire world just in your hand, just like that. And how to put the whole thing together, all the ideas, everything that comes together, how you put it all together, it just blows up in your head. And that's how I see when we do builds. I see the whole thing come to life in my head. That's what I see. Sounds crazy, but that's what I see in my head. So I guess it would be woo! Just came with me on that one. Here. Fight with me. It's funny because people don't call me. You wonder why my phone doesn't call? People don't call me because they're always thinking I'm always buried into something crazy that I'm building or putting together, which is actually true, and they don't want to bother me. I was like, call me, because you don't. I'll be here like all day long, building. And no one's. It's nonstop. You have to contact me. You have to contact me. You have to get me out of it. I loop into stuff. I don't come out of it. And they'll call me like, hey, what are you doing? I'll be like, oh, yeah, I'm doing nothing right now, because I'm actually doing something. I'm doing nothing right now. What do you want to do? We're going to go to the park. Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, I need someone to get me out of it. Because I'll be there, just build. You won't hear anything from me. Just build. People call me to see if I'm still kicking or alive or whatever, but I'm just constantly building. Idea overlap, and I'll just be in this spiral, just building. I'm happy to be there, but even happier sometimes to get out of it. Just do something else. Yeah. Just to do something else. Glades. The glades. How do you call them glades? They're not glading, they're glades. That's what I call them. Let's get this actually, if I got enough glue. Hit this thing. See if it would do it. I'm just curious. I can build an attachment to attach. That's what it locks in. Adapter around that would screw in, and it would attach this. But I'm just curious if it would just hold. I found this different adhesive, high-powered adhesive glue called liquid metal for adhesing pipes together. When it gets to the copper part. And that actually held quite nicely. I like where this is going. This kind of feels loose to me right here. It's not coming out, but it's loose. Oh, this moves back and forth. That's why. Okay, well, not finished yet, but still, it's a start. So, still have to work on a few things with it. So, we're going to run a pipe system that's going to connect from here to here. It's going to have a valve there, and it's going to connect back into here. It's going to come out of here, and it's going to connect back in this section. It's going to channel all through here. So the pipes are going to be pushing in and out one side and out the other side, and we're going to have some kind of corrosion coming off of it. Going to steampunk the daylights out of this thing. Yeah. Now for these square bases, we can circle this off. Give it a round look to it. That's easy to do. I did it on one of the pieces I was building. It's much smaller than the other case over there. I could have put the power supply, the liquid cooling system at top, but I didn't want too much to it. I want to keep it to the case. So power supply will come out of here, but the cord for the power supply is going to go into a tunnel system, come out here, and come out to the side over there. So we're not even done with it yet. Now looked at these right here. This would make great cogs. That would make a great cog right there. Great cog. Put that in there just right there. Make a great cog for it. Yeah. So I'll make some mini cogs or some smaller cogs with this. Okay. Some different cogs that we got. You know, the Xbox system, when I get around to modding it, actually has a real working gear system in it. I literally had to build a gear system in it and build a small motorized hobby fan with the gear to be able to operate all those gears in it, to make it run, make it look realistic. But I saw this design and I really liked it. I think it would be fantastic for the Xbox mod system to basically do it like in a really dark, eerie green, or put a light, high fluorescent green in between it and do all the gears in gold. That would look so sick for the Xbox, it really would. Definitely would look sick for it. So, definitely going to do something crazy with that. I was thinking about the PlayStation. The PlayStation, I'm going to do something crazy with it. I definitely want to make it look like a test subject system. Definitely going to have to do a liquid cooling system with it. Definitely. And both systems are going to have liquid cooling system, but the PlayStation has to be done differently. The liquid cooling system had to be the liquid flow in and out of things. So we are literally going to have to put in a professional liquid cooling system into the PlayStation. The reservoir we're custom building. We're building our own reservoir system for it. You can build reservoirs easy to build them yourself. I want something different with that. I want the reservoir system. We get 2 of these 40-ounce containers. We'll have to be able to pipe the fluids back and forth, but I want the containers to be the actual stand for the PlayStation system. So we're going to basically customize a unit to hold the motherboard, so we open rack, the motherboard, power supply, and the 2 support systems are going to be reservoir systems, and they're going to be filled with the same neon blue that the PlayStation has. So in other words, you're going to make it like a beating heart, except for a machine version of it. It's live, so to speak. I got to put a heart monitoring system into it, so it beats and goes off to show that basically it's living. Isn't that pretty cool, huh? Of course, flex screens are installed in because, again, I'm gaming off the screens. Now, where am I putting my... Ouch! Stop doing that to yourself. Where am I putting my flex screen? Right there. I'm putting it right there. That's where my screen's going to be at. Let me see. Size you're going to use. This one. That may be too big. Or this one, which I think would be the perfect size for our flex setup. Right there would be perfect because my projector can be on a tripod. What I'm thinking about doing is I might put a wheel on it so that way I can do it this way and then I can turn it around and do it back and forth. I can do portrait on it. I can switch it this way. So I might put a wheelbase on it so I can turn it. I think I'm going to do it that way. That would be hot. So we'll have to connect the wheel. You can get the wheels that lock in. We're going to have to double this up. Probably put a plastic piece in there so that way I can switch it from portrait and back to landscape. But definitely what we do, that's going to be pretty cool. And that projector over there, allows me to be able to tilt it upward and use it for landscape. So I'm going to be using one of those. Now the real fun part, when we get everything painted and done, the screw process. Because that means we have to take these little screws right here, and we're going to have to line them all around here and here to make it look like it's really real, like it's real metal. So it's a lot of screws you have to stick in there, one after that. And these screws right here have to be painted to age. Yep, this is where it comes, it gets the tedious part. So yes, go grab your Jack Daniels, because you're going to be here a while screaming your head off like you want to talk. Really? 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 Yeah, really. Definitely really. Arches, these things come in handy. I'm going to put a nice arch system right along the top of that. Put a little layer that fits out so I can put a halo system light that comes down on top of that. This is what we do, people. This is what we do. We make it come to life. Alright, the stones that make the whole world sing. I have to finish my robots for the Electric City. I started that. I have to finish that. I need to go order my little robots and get that done. There we go. We need this too. We definitely need that. So we need glue. That's it. We're out of glue. We just have to get some more glue in it and put it all together. Nice little peekaboo window. And use that. The rest of the wires are this. So we'll get started on this tomorrow. And I got to get the piping system. We're getting all that tomorrow. Everything tomorrow. Show you how to take everyday plastic toilet paper dispenser rolls and turn them into actual copper pipes. So realistic as I don't know what. Simple paint tactics. How to bring it to life. Putting all this stuff down here because I can find this down here. Just pile it in there. Pins, something like this. Something told me to get glue. Get glue. You're gonna need glue. There ain't glue. There's no glue enough. No glue. These are paints we're gonna be using. Nice little rust. Little green for corrosion. A little blue. Blue gives a nice little effect to metal. Kind of a realistic look to it. And dry brush it in. Everything's a dry brush technique. Dry brush gives it a nice old polished look to it. Funnels and tunnels and all that stuff. You don't see it, but I can see it in my head. I can see the whole PC operating. I can see it all. All these, I just see them working. Just like I saw these when I first started the structure building these, I saw it all in my head come together. Yep. Are these done? Not really. Our light system has to go through here to finish this off. That requires a 3050 because the card has to be upgraded or I'm going to run something off of it. It's an arcade game I need to run off of it. This one's going to stay the same, but this is actually missing the temperature gauge for the CPU copper plate that gives off the temperature control. It also snows on it, which is pretty cool. And then on top of that, I'm installing the smaller version of the flex system on it. So that way we can actually show off some images through it. This one requires glow-in-the-dark paint for the top end cables, and those cables require RGBs. RAM requires RGB, and the motherboard trace around it requires RGB. So I can get all of that to light up. So I'm going to be doing a rewire job with that. And that has a bit of a chase system that channels all through it. Ice Boy over here needs a coating of silicone to cover all that white. And that white has to have a glow-in-the-dark crystal to it, so that glows in the dark over top the silicone. So they're not done yet. There's some still real work in progress, but at least I can use them. I even put on the Ice Boy over here, has some little decorative art. Put a nice little Sturpy right there. You can see from the wire Sturpy and some ice in there. So it's not even done yet. I'm still working on all that. Alright, it's getting there. And then we have this one. This is going to be a very crazy build. Crazy build, right? I'm trying to track down giant mushrooms. So it tells you how crazy it's going to be. It's going to be a fantasy world. It's going to be insane in there. That whole entire area in there is designed to be a whole fantasy world. Giant mushrooms, waterfalls, thunderclouds, the whole thing is going to be crazy. We're going to put that screen over top of it and project right into it, which is going to be insane. It's going to look crazy. So that's some tedious work we got to do at the end of the day. That's insane and tedious work. And then we're still working on the desk. Yep, but the desk has to be done too on top of that. So I thought with the desk, what we're going to do is we're definitely going to do a wallpaper job using the printer and doing some artwork. We're going to do the entire desk in cyberpunk artwork. And then we're going to basically have certain, not all of it, certain parts of it's going to glow in the dark. It's going to recolor over top of it, glow in the dark paint. And then we're going to basically laminate it so it doesn't get damaged, because I will jack it up, I know myself. And we're going to put a blue trace wire through it, or maybe I might put in a black light trace through it so it all glows. So that's what we're doing with the desk. And all of it comes up, and take it with me. I want to make everything that, if I decide to change up my office, I can take it all with me. Everything comes up in pieces. So we're going to turn these pieces in here into cyberpunk artwork. That's what we're going to do. And real cheap, real easy to do. Anybody can do it. Cheap, easy to do. Anybody can do it. I'm just trying to show you easy ways you can just do stuff at the end of the day. You know, you can use projectors, all kinds of stuff. Doesn't cost you a lot of money, stuff like that. Just a little quick speaking. Yeah, I know I act a little crazy on camera. I do act crazy on camera. Maybe that's the way I kill stress. If you ever think about that, I'm stressed out a lot. I got a lot on my plate, and I keep stacking more on my plate because I don't like to be bored. And then the more stuff I stack on my plate, the more stuff I got to complete. It's an endless loop. That's what I do. I trap myself in endless loops, projects. So to the point I get headaches. I just have to figure a way how to unwind. If not, you will find me on the news dressed in camouflage up on top of a hill somewhere with a rifle. I have to basically figure a way how to unload the stress. So, yeah. And some days I definitely don't have issues when I'm gaming. When I'm gaming, I do gaming screens. Those are days that require very little testing. Just me gaming and having fun. That's what it's about. Just got finished gaming a few minutes ago with a couple of my friends online. On my PlayStation. At the end of the day, you know, to tell you the truth, honestly, all this stuff we talk about gaming back and forth and which system is superior, technically I don't care. At the end of the day, if I can just sit down and just play a game and just enjoy it and have fun and relax, that's all that matters. That's why I envy the casual gamer. I really do. I envy them. They're not caught up in all the pressure. They just play for fun. Isn't that how it started anyway? Right? Everything was just for fun. Just getting around with a bunch of your friends, laughing and joking, and just doing dumb stuff online. That's where the memories really coming from. Yep. But we all do that trash talk at the end of the day. Ugh. Nintendo Switch is coming out with another one? Well, actually, they haven't made a system in a while. They got a new one coming out. I'm buying the Apple. Apple makes the gaming system. I'm buying it. Number one is collection. I'm getting two of them. One sealed and the other one. And again, I believe in giving Apple an opportunity. You know why? Because no one wanted to give Sony one. No one knew Sony was going to make it. Microsoft, yes, Microsoft. They do computers and all that stuff. Of course, if the Xbox came out with a system, people were going to support it. They weren't going to support Sony. They thought Sony was going to be whack. I know that's a bit of a bad word back in the day. Because Sony doesn't make game systems. Sony makes VCRs at the time and stereo systems and all that stuff. For those of you that don't go that far back. Yeah, that's how Sony made stereo systems, VCR, stuff like that. They didn't make game systems at all, so no one thought they were going to last that long. Surprised they did. Microsoft had a higher chance of survival because Microsoft made computer games. That's why people supported the Xbox over the PlayStation. They thought that it was just going to be one of those, short-lived systems like, Panasonic CDI system and the Panasonic 3DO. But Panasonic made something. They got into it, and it didn't go well for them at all, period. Their system tanked. And then CDI got into it, and they didn't do well either, and they tanked. And Atari, you would think would have worked with the Jaguar system, but that also failed too. And then you had the TurboGrafx 16, that also tanked. You had the Atom system, that didn't last long, that tanked. The Atari 2600 was actually fantastic, but the 5600 didn't do too well, to tell you the truth, it really didn't. And then you had Nintendo, and you had Sega, and Sega seemed to be kicking butt back and forth, and it was a back and forth war between them, and I would have never thought in a million years that Sega would have went under. That was a shock right there. Never would have seen that one coming. Nintendo is considered to be the OG of gaming. They are the OG of gaming. They've been around for a long time. They're the only ones I can say right now has a successful portable system. The Game Boy. Game Boy is the most successful portable system. It's hard for a console system to make a portable. It doesn't really do well. Nomad was basically Genesis. They had the Nomad system. If you had one of those, the one took them 8 or 9 batteries in it. That's before they came up with Game Gear. The Nomad was for the Game Gear. The Nomad was a handheld system made for the Genesis. And the Genesis came out, you had the 1 and 2. The first one was better because it had the headset and it was in stereo. And then they came with a smaller version of it, which was okay. I like the older version better. They had 2 different versions of the CD-ROM. They had the one, I still have that too. I still have my CD-ROM. They had the CD-ROM that had the bay loader, and they had one that had the top loader that slopped into the side of it. So, neither one of them did well at all, period. It had some good games on it, but it didn't last that long, to tell you the truth. Came the handheld systems, Game Boy, Nintendo. As a matter of fact, the system they have now, the Switch, is a handheld system. It tells you they know what they're doing up there with that. But out of all the OG systems, Nintendo's still standing. Nintendo has been here long before Xbox. It's been here long before Sony. It's been here for a very long time. A very long time. As a matter of fact, Nintendo's responsible for taking out the Atari. If you don't know that, history behind that. Yeah, because Atari basically wanted to concentrate on mass games. They had a huge, amazing library. But they didn't want to concentrate on graphics. When the Nintendo came out, it put the Atari to shame. And the other thing that ended the Atari, E.T. That game destroyed that system. It was horrible. Never did get out of that pit. But anyway, yeah. People were trying to explain to them it's not the quantity of games, it's the graphics, and Nintendo had those graphics. Then you had the Sega Master System. I had that when it first came out. Yeah. It was interesting. Watching the new systems come out. ColecoVision and Television. All of them. Odyssey was another one that came out. Pong. I had that one right there. Yep. Interesting. It was nice to be around all that technology. You had the GameCube. I had it in orange. I had it in silver. I had it in gold. I had it in the original purple that it came in. They used to call it the purse because they had a handle on the side of it. But I liked it. It was pretty nice. I had little memory cards on it and everything. The memory card era. Yep. Game systems used to have 4 ports, and then it came down to 2 ports, and they had an adapter to make the 2 ports another 2 ports to another 4 ports. There's adapters that came out. Man, that's a long time ago, man. Sega Saturn, Sega Net, Game Shark. There's just so much stuff, man. Just so much crazy stuff. You know the crazy thing about it? All the gaming I have done down through time, I still have not played everything. It's virtually impossible. You can't. You get a RetroPie, you will realize how much stuff you missed. RetroPie is overwhelming. It is. I got one, I think it was overwhelming. It was so many games. I didn't even know where to start, where to begin. It was overloaded. It was way overloaded. Definitely. Half the games I've never even heard of before. I had no idea they had a Streets of Rage version of the superheroes. Even though it even existed, but apparently it did. You got imports. I've done imports. As a matter of fact, the Game Shark was converted for imports if you had the Game Shark, the original one. I had mine for Xbox. And then for the new generation, playing movies on your system wasn't a thing. As a matter of fact, when the Xbox system came out, you had to buy an adapter to play the DVD. So you had a remote control adapter that plugged in the back. It activated the DVD that allowed you to play DVD on it. That was another thing too. And PlayStation had the Blu-ray. Xbox 360 had the hard drive. There was an HD hard drive, a ROM system on it. It was about $200, but it didn't last long. It kind of went out real quick. The one in it came out right there, like the laser disc. It didn't last long. Remember that one for the 360. Remember that, the HD 1080p hard disc player. And then the Blu-ray player came out. And the reason why the PlayStation was so popular because the Blu-ray system was extremely expensive, but if you got a PlayStation, it was a lot cheaper. And then people complain about the price of the Pro System. Pro System is not the expensive system. The expensive system was the PlayStation 3. That was the expensive system. If you had a PlayStation 2 when it came out, you remember it didn't come with a modem. Mine, when they first came out, didn't have modems. You had to buy the modem. That's when they came with SOCOM. You had that wiry headset you plugged in. And you command the AI figures on there. I guess AI figures on there. You can command them back and forth. It came with SOCOM. And you had to spend $50 to get the modem. And later on, they came out with the 56. It was 56 modem. And then they came out later on to DSL. But again, right around that time, that's when things were changing over and that didn't take off well. And DSL wasn't really that popular yet. Everybody was still running on 56K. Yep. Sega Dreamcast, 56K. If you had a Dreamcast, then if you've been on SegaNet, you remember that at the end, because I was on SegaNet. SegaNet was magical, man. It was magical. Yeah, forum sites, all these different gamers in there talking about this and talking about modifications and this, that, games they had, imports, all that stuff. And the Dreamcast had a section in there that you can people would upload their memory cards. You can download someone's memory card onto your memory card, which was amazing. Because Marvel vs. Capcom, somebody beat it on hard, and they got all the cool characters. You could download their memory card onto your memory card, but you got to be careful for some of the things that viruses. But still, it was freaking amazing. Dreamcast was way before its time. It was way before its time. You could do it on Dreamcast. Way before its time. At PlayStation when it first came out, at Toshinden, I had Metal Gear Solid, and you run around in the box and you smoke those cigarettes. I couldn't get into that too much. And I didn't like the DualShock was cool. The vibration and all that was amazing. Never had a controller shit like that. That was pretty cool. And Nintendo came out with the Rumble Pack, or Rumble Park, whatever you want to call it. I had that. Yep. That's pretty cool to live through all that. Man, that's why I want to go back to the 80s. I miss that. I miss that gaming era. Man, that's when you go to the arcade, and everybody wanted arcade ports, which is crazy because then at that time, games were around arcades. Everybody wanted the arcade port, the real experience of having arcade games at home. That's what they wanted. Now it's different. Now they want PC. Games and more are now consoles trying to compare more to PC. But even in the era of arcades, PCs weren't even comparing themselves to arcades. They were comparing themselves just to PC. It's console. They wanted to be more like the arcades. And that's why you had the Neo Geo. You had the flagship of all game systems with the Neo Geo. The more expensive systems, they could do it. Neo Geo can do an actual port of an arcade. Because literally the Neo Geo, the reason why, if you look at the case on the Neo Geo, the size of a large pizza box was huge. Yeah, full-size controllers on the thing, full-size joysticks on it. It was a huge system. And the cartridges were the size of VCR tapes. It was a big system. And I was looking at it, and I remember this guy coming in. I remember seeing the Neo Geo a couple of times in the store. They had these big, huge, like book-like cartridges in them. And they had the most beautiful artwork on them. They were gorgeous, man. The flagship of all gaming console systems back then. And I remember every Neo Geo game had this little credit cards, like like drive over top where you put the money in for the coins. And I was always like, what the frick is that for? And the guy told me what it was for. Some guy came in, he had that card in his hand, and he put it in there. He said the Neo Geo. So I found out about the Neo Geo. He said the Neo Geo, the reason why it looks exactly like the arcade, because it has an arcade board in the actual console system. So this card I have here, when I slide this in here, I can literally play where I left off at home and save here at the arcade and take it back home and play. I was like, oh my goodness. I had a Genesis at the time. Yeah. So that's when I started looking at the more top tier systems. The top tier systems was Panasonic, 3DO, that was another one. CDI, top tier system. Neo Geo, top tier system. And if you had an FM Marty, it's another one. That was another system. That was another one. FM Town Marty was another one. But those are the top tiers. The systems from between $700, 6 to 7 to 1,000. And the Neo Geo from the 1,000 range. At $300 a cartridge. No joke. So yeah. Anyone that came in there and pulled out their little Neo Geo memory card, you're like, oh, it's got a Neo Geo. Everybody would point to it. Yeah, I'm going to tell you something. You gamers at the end of the day, you game now online, if you were at the arcade, you were superstars. If you were known for having your name on a machine, everybody knew who you were when you walked into that environment. You were a superstar. They were pretty much arcade groupies. I think I'm joking. They were very beautiful women that, guys walking had a girl on each side and everything. I was like, that actually did happen. Some of these guys were amazing at freaking Mortal Kombat, amazing at Street Fighter and all the different games they would play. Even Pac-Man, all those games. Whatever game was popular at that time. So the more popular games would be up front, and the games that would be like in between, and the games that were less popular would be in the corner, way in the back. But you would still see old schools back there playing them. But that game that would be up front, remember when Street Fighter came out, Virtual Fighters, and see the guys doing the slams and the moves around. You're a knucklehead. Yeah, it was freaking amazing. Mortal Kombat. When it first came out, kids were screaming up and down the street. Mortal Kombat, if you remember that. Oh man, it was all over the news how violent the game was. We got a band that's so violent. Man, look what's that now. Way worse than it was back then. But anyway, yeah. That's a fantastic time to be at the arcade. You walk in, it was like being at a freaking club. You had the Street Fighter guys over there in the corner, tapping. They showed a booklet how to do the controls. They look at it real quick. They be doing competitions and all that stuff. There's one guy used to come in, he'd be dressed like a Chinaman. He had the hat and everything and all buttoned up to the top. Literally lied you up, just like that. He'd come in there every time. He beat the crap out of people at that game. It was really good. He was really, really good. He did competitions and everything. He would come in there. He would bow to you too. He would come in there with Chinese food, he'd eat his Chinese food, and he'd stop and he'd bow to you, and you bow back to him out of respect, and he'd beat the crap out of you. Now you're like, it was so bad, it's like you would not even touching the buttons how bad he was pulling those combos. And then when Tekken came out, oh my goodness. The combos in Tekken were freaking insane. Who's the guy, the cheetah guy? I don't know, I forgot his name, but that guy had a combo system that was unbreakable. And they came out with Killer Instinct, Ultra Combo, Supreme Combo. They always turned up the system on the system that the arcade was more popular. They would turn it up a little bit on that one. And all you hear is Ultra Combo, Supreme Combo. In the background when you're playing pool, like someone's getting the butt kicked. Oh man, people used to get whipped on that game. Whipped. If you knew them combos and you could line them up just right, you'd get spanked. That's all you hear is somebody in there walking by, you see them playing like, oh, that's about to get whipped. Ultra Combo, Supreme Combo. Oh, somebody got whipped. Back there playing pool. I forgot this game. I don't know if it's still around. The Wizard? Oh man, I might have got rid of that. I think somebody died on one of that. I mean, died on a machine. Called the Wizard. If you don't know what it is, the machine that gave out electric shock. Step on a little rubber grounded mat and hold two poles at the same time, and the wizard would come out and ask you questions. And as more and more you got these answers to the question, the more the voltage would come up, get higher and higher. You miss, you got all of that. And they had a whole list of stuff on the side of the machine why you couldn't play it if you had a pacemaker or if you had freaking pregnant or whatever, heart problems, whatever couldn't be on there. I think somebody died on the machine. I'm trying to find one. I'm trying to track one down. I'm looking for collectors. Yeah, thing too. The Wizard. I got it right. In the era of the shooter games came out, you had the House of the Dead. You had freaking, you remember Time Cop? Time Cop was one that came by Sega that had the gun. The most, Time Crisis was the most one. They had Dino Crisis too. But the Time Crisis was hot because it had the foot pedal, you had to tap on, you got House of the Dead, another one that came out was hot. LA machine guns, oh my god, LA machine guns were bigger than you. They were huge. Huge. And you had the port that came over to arcade. Didn't even come to console yet. It came to arcade first. It came to arcade first and then it came to console. You had Terminator. Judgment Day. Remember that? And you grab the gun and you shoot. I'm going to find that game, by the way. The Judgment Day game, the T2, I'm buying that. That was one of my favorite games to play. And then you run out of time. Hurry up. Let's go. Oh my goodness, man, that was a good game, man. That game was amazing. Let's see if I can track down that arcade game and buy it. The Wizard. Are we hooked up? We are hooked up. Arcade game, they gave off a shock when you got the answers wrong. Yeah, it was called something different. It was in the arcade, yeah. So gave off a shock. I remember this game. Shocking games, yeah. Gave off an electrical shock. Yeah, better not get the answers wrong. You will find out the hard way. See if we can put this in a particular thing. That's not it. Yep. That's one of them. They had a few of these games that will electrocute you. If you got answers wrong, you got a shock of a lifetime, man. If you got it wrong, you paid for it. And that was not no joke. You paid for it. But yeah, it was a game like that. The guy came on and answered. Yeah, the win was big. Sometimes we would give you like tickets and all that stuff like that. Addams Family had one that would electrocute you. I'm gonna find that game. But anyway, yeah. It was some kind of quiz master. And the voltage would go up. For each time you got the answer right. It'll show you on the side the meter going up. And it was pretty bad, man. You got it to the top and you got hit with that thing. It was like being hit with a defibrillator from the outside. And really getting hit with it. Fortunately, it was from the outside, but that's what it was like. And people get shot. And people do dumbest stuff. Like you get on there and people would hold each other's hands and just answer the questions wrong on purpose just to electrocute each other. So that way, the shock would carry you through. Like, here, hold my hand. And say something stupid. What is the color of red? Orange. And it'd shock you and shock them too. It's funny. Until you got to them high questions. You got to that red zone. It got pretty bad after that. They got rid of it. I think somebody died on that thing. Arcade game, Terminator T2. Not a cheap game. The arcade game costs $8,000. Look them up. They're not cheap. They got one for, that's not the real one. That's a good game too, man. That's a good game. Oh man, LA Machine Guns is another one. Another hard game to get. Expensive game to get. Richard McCallum did have a port of it. A port did come to the GameCube, but I never heard of it. I would have had it because that's actually a pretty good game. Reload. Time be ticking down. You run into the freaking machine to get coins. Send your buddy to go get coins, and hopefully he don't take forever coming back. Because you know you got to start all the way from the beginning of the world. Yep. That's when the arcade was a big thing, man. When Pac-Man came out, it was a line around the corner because everybody had Pac-Man fever. And he made a song about it. Pac-Man fever, Pac-Man fever, it's driving me crazy. Yeah, there's a friend of mine too. She lived right under a bar, and all she could hear was that freaking ding, 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 ding from Pac-Man. Because people just played that thing like crazy. Pac-Man was a big craze. Now I'm actually going to build me a customized Pac-Man machine. Arcade system, I'm going to build one. Using that technology over there. I'm going to trap on Pac-Man, a giant Pac-Man behind the back of the glass of that see-through screen with the power poles that light up and everything. See it on the other side. I'm going to build one. I'm going to use the ad tech to do it. I'm going to put an infinity mirror on the other side of it. It's going to look pretty crazy. Pac-Man fever. I love Pac-Man. The object of Pac-Man is to follow. If you follow the pellets correctly, you'll be able to clean the entire board without going off the track. If you miss, then you'll have to repeat it. If you repeat it, you waste time. You have to be to kill all the pellets off the board without basically going off the path. So it's be one final swoop. You got to figure it out as you're going through. What is the right path to take? To be to collect all the pellets in one final swoop. If you have to backtrack, you lose time, and you run the chance of basically hitting something that will kill you. That's the whole thing about Pac-Man. People when they're playing it would just grab as much as they can, and in the minute the power pellet would come up, they would hit that. And then they would hit the next fruit that would take them to the next level. And that's not how you do it. You go in and you have to figure out one. You have to look at the maze. You have to figure out how to get to the maze without hitting any walls. One clean swoop all the way to the end, and then you basically get the fruit. And you come off the path, you have to backtrack. If you backtrack and you got pellets here and pellets here and pellets here, you lose time. You have to beat the time, get the pellets, and not get eaten. So that's how you play Pac-Man. And the faster you kill that thing running around, once you get those power pellets, the more points you get. Yep. One. You have to figure the trick. You have to see it right in front of you. You have to see something that's in front of you and figure out how to get from A to B without basically missing any of the pellets and backtracking. It must be one large swoop. That's it. That's why you hear me say, "King, stay on the path, stay on the path, stay on the path, stay on the path." And they got different versions of it. The ones I like are basically the ones that are sleeping. When you go past them, they activate. And you got a whole chain of these things chasing behind you. That's another one. They got the ones that basically are like walls. You hit them, they bounce you all over the place. You can't get past them. You got to go around these things. And you still have to stay on the path. They got the ones with the little springs that bounce you back and forth. Bounce you over here. They bounce you over there. There's some pretty cool ones, man, that they designed. So my Pac-Man machine I'm building is going to have every single Pac-Man game ever made embedded into it. I have to do it through PC. So PC is going to allow me to embed all those games into one on hard drive. Do it. Oh, our projects, right? It's funny because a lot of these inventors who invented the light bulb and all that stuff, they had like multiple different versions of experiments all around that they're working on. And spend their entire life just building and inventing stuff all day long, just figuring out how to put stuff together, how stuff works. They just saw the world differently. They saw it completely differently. They don't see the same thing everybody else sees. Some people say, but that doesn't look like a bowl of fruit. It does look like a bowl of fruit. It's the way they see the bowl of fruit. If everybody saw the bowl of fruit the exact same way, museums would be boring because everything would look the same. That's why when they put out a piece of fruit, if you're expecting for your stuff to look exactly like the next person next to you, that's virtually impossible. You see it differently. Draw it the way you see it. That's what makes it special. That's what makes it art. You see it a different way. I had that brain block in my head when I would draw the piece of fruit. I couldn't figure out why mine doesn't look like the actual piece of fruit, or why mine doesn't look like the guy next to me. And my art teacher explained to me, everybody sees the bowl of fruit differently. Draw it the way you feel that you think it would be. That's what makes art beautiful. Everybody sees it differently. You can have 6 different paintings of the same thing. Each person draws it differently. It tells a different story for each artist. They see it differently. But they're all saying the same piece of fruit. It's boring. You see the same thing over and over again. Whatever. You know? That's why like people have deep philosophy thoughts. I like sitting around having conversations with them, man, because they tell you some stuff at the end of the day, like, wow, I didn't really think of it that way. It's pretty interesting. And did you know when you buy candy, those little holes that they have inside of them that they put on to hold on the rack, you know there's a little tab hanging off of that? That's so you can open the bag. Didn't know that. Somebody showed me. They just tore it open. I was like, so the whole entire time, I'm sitting there struggling to get this bag open. There's a little tab, it's pulled and it just opens up. Somebody showed me something with the Chinese food containers, how they fold up into something. That blew my mind because I never even knew you could do that with that. See, certain things you learned along the way that you were doing wrong the entire time. Who cares when you get the food? It's still pretty cool. Pretty cool. Boxes of cereal are made to fold up so you can keep everything fresh. But we just tear open the box, tear the top off it, all to destroy it. I do it myself and cook it. Oh, stay there. You stay there. Alright, just putting stuff away, people. As we have happy we had this good time together. I do appreciate it. As for the naysayers, you're more than welcome to come in and watch some of the stuff we do, you know what I mean? Keep an open mind. That's why I say you gotta learn to keep an open mind. Learn something at the end of the day. Hey, start learning how to build birdhouses. You know, I'm actually getting into that, so I'm gonna build me some birdhouses. I'm definitely build me a birdhouse. I've never built a birdhouse before. I want to build a birdhouse. So let's see what it's like. Some people around the corner have got some beautiful birdhouses that they built. We think it's a orchard, something there's a luxury for the birds. Definitely want to start building birdhouses. I figured how to weatherproof cardboard. How to make it completely weatherproof. I've actually been doing some testing at the home corner. Got 7 pieces of cardboard soaking in water, testing it. I figured it out. So I'm gonna actually get this heavy weighted cardboard. My friend's we're gonna actually make some cardboard birdhouses. And they won't move either. There won't be no swaying back and forth, and that's sort of how we're gonna construct them. They can't be made out of this stuff. Let's use a kind of a heavy cardboard for it. I wish we figured out how to make them weatherproof. Those things are gonna be amazing when we get done with them. Except we're going to be ridiculous at the end of the day. Yep, really cool. Cameras in there, so you can watch the little buggers. Oh no, we don't be dropping that on the floor, do we? No, we don't. Alright people, hope you enjoyed. Thank you for stopping by. Really appreciate the time we shared together. I do, I really do. Now, I was in a store buying something, and I don't know what, the guy turned and looked at me, I looked right back at him. You know, men get these sort of staring acts with each other, that's what we do at the end of the day. And I thought to myself, look, we can be enemies and friends. That's how we can put it that way. We can be enemies and friends. I have no hatred for you, I don't even know you at the end of the day, I really don't care, I'm not that type of person, but you can get me any friends. I'd rather be your friend than the day to be your enemy. He also agreed the same thing. He said, well, you stared at me and I stared back at you. We had a little standoffish stare at the end of the day. I said, but at the end of the day, I said to them, you know, we can be enemies and be friends. How we can go about it. So, at the end of the day, you know, I see him from time to time walking down the street, say, hey, hey. We talk back and forth, back and forth. We do. So, I try to make peace with people at the end of the day. Could I have taken him? Oh, heck yeah, easy. Very easy. And he was a big guy at the end of the day. He was really big. A lot of heart. I respect that, I do. Not a very big guy at the end of the day. He was way too close to me. Way too close. But other than that, no. We got to talking and everything. He found out what I was trained to do. And he could have beat the eye. Mess you up pretty bad. But it doesn't have to be that way. We could be good friends, man. Then they would hang out, chill, do crazy stuff. And we're not playing for the game. I'd rather have a friend than they'd have an enemy any day of the week. Yeah, any day of the week. I'd rather have a friend at the end of the day. So, yeah, we're good friends. We see each other from time to time. There's another guy, a big guy, too. I see him from time to time. Big guy. Walks a pit bull. He's a cool dude, too. Real nice. I call him the gentle giant when I see him. The gentle giant. He cracks up about me, the gentle giant. You got to meet the other ones. The other ones are big. They're just wide. They're huge guys. They would get along. They would have a ball. The guy's going to a weightlifting party or something like that. They're fun, dude. Yeah, he's a real nice guy, too. So the problem he has at the end of the day, men get intimidated by his size. That's kind of sad at the end of the day. I look at him like, man, that's a lot of work you put in there, didn't you? Like, gee whiz. He shows me pictures when he was young. He was a stick. Could never believe this guy is that big. He was a stick. He was a thin guy. He got bullied all the time. Yep. And you would think a guy of this mass size would return the favor to other people. No, he's a gentle, very nice person. A nice person from the day. Yep. Good person. So on the day, walking the dog, yep. Basically, how you doing? Real nice people at the end of the day. I had to ask him a question. I said, are you fast by any chance? He's like, not really, not that fast. I'm thinking, man, yeah, I'm curious about that. And paintballing, I think about that sometimes. He'd be paintballing. He'd be a fantastic juggernaut. He'd be excellent for that. Fantastic for suppressive fire. Shield, he'd be fantastic. We wouldn't use him, and an area like a cramped area would not be well. But a person that's smaller, they're more dangerous because they can be up anywhere. You can never know exactly where they're at all, period. And I thought about that. Soldiers at the end of the day, which would be the perfect size soldier? You couldn't be too big because you'd be a target. Unless you're extremely fast, but yeah, you'd be a target. You'd be an easy target to take out. I'm not talking about Rupert, definitely by paintballing standard. A smaller guy would be a hard guy to really take down. He really would. He really would. He'd be fast, he's quick, he's nimble, speed and all that stuff. Yeah, he'd be kind of hard to track down. Really would be. And he could be in places that you would never even think at the end of the day. That little big guy could get into. On top of that, he wouldn't even make any sound. His stealth would be incredible. When he do the office, you have an old abandoned office, you do the floors creak in there. You can't really be that big walking around. They can hear your location if you walk around in there. And those smaller guys in there, man, it's hard to track those guys in there. They can be anywhere. They can hide up under a desk and you can never see them coming. So yeah, think about that for a minute. Because they're going to go paintballing. My big friends are going paintballing. I call my big friends, they're going to go paintballing. I said, man, you're like a ghillie suit. That's like a walking tree, man. I'll be to hit that a mile away with no problem. It's going to be fun to watch, though. It is going to be fun to watch. Are you sure you want to do this? Yeah, I might try. See what it's like and everything. Okay, man. You're better off with the Juggernaut. If we're doing team deathmatch, you'd be a fantastic Juggernaut. You know the armor for a Juggernaut is 80 pounds? Yep. To wear that armor, the real one, is 80 pounds. Jeebus Louise. And they can move with that on. What you talking about with a rail cannon? It carrying a rail gun. You know, basically the clip is your backpack. When I was watching Predator, and I was like, where's the frick is the clip? He said, wearing it on his back. I was like, good gracious, are you kidding? You know how heavy that thing is? For you to carry that around? The recoil that comes off that cannon? Gee whiz Louise. And then they're wearing that with an 80-pound armor. Miners are carrying everything else with that. That's insane. the heat that thing has to give off has to be incredible. And they're in that armor like that. That's insane. Like people work for the bomb squad. How they wear that whole suit? I don't know how they do it. Don't you even dare think about doing that. It'll knock over his dish. That's insane. I'd look that up. Like, how much does that thing weigh? It's 80 pounds. You have to look at 80 pounds of armor. How much does a rail cannon weigh? Oh, not that one. We're not using that too big of a rail camera. Is it Vinikin? I think it's a Vinikin. How much does a Vinikin weigh? How much does a Vinikin machine gun weigh? Got a rail gun. The rail gun they gave me was literally a gun that's on a rail, like a train track. That's real cute. What they have this. Gatling gun would be another way. How much does a Gatling gun weigh? The M134A2. Good gracious, are you freaking kidding me? 150 pounds. That gun's 150 pounds. Wow. So the M135A2 minigun. Good gracious. That's berserk. That can't be real. That thing can't weigh that much. The M134A2. The M1A40A2. I'll break picture of that one. I got close to it. Minigun. That's a better way to put it. Here it is. How much does a minigun weigh? That can't be right. 150 pounds. That's heavy. That's super heavy. All right. How much does a handheld minigun weigh? That's better. I don't know if there was a minigun. All right, that's more like it. At 85 pounds, but that's still heavy for a gun. So a mini, because I had it on with my phone, I had it on videos. A standard M134 minigun weighs 85 pounds, and then you're wearing the armor that weighs 80 pounds. That's a lot of freaking weight. You're a walking army. You know, with all that. The M134. M134 minigun. Jeez, this is crazy. Yeah, if I'm doing a zombie apocalypse, I want one of these. I want one of these. This is crazy. It's an 80-pound gun. You know what 80 pounds is? It's heavy. My weight's over there around 50 pounds. Can you imagine lifting 80 pounds and you're carrying this thing with a recoil attached to it? That's insane. I had no idea they're heavy. Yeah, 6-barrel minigun. Rotating machine gun. It fires 2,000 to 6,000 rounds per minute. You have any idea how much firepower that is? 2,000 to 6,000 rounds per minute. You're not getting... There's no way to survive that. It's virtually impossible. You know what's crazy about that too? Because when you watch Predator, they fired all that ammo and they only hit that thing one time. All that ammo. Can you imagine how crazy that is? And this is the part I didn't like about Predator 2. Predator 2, I didn't like it. Because it had Danny Glover is a good actor and all. But come on, you're talking about 7 commandos. The top of the top, the best of the best. Got wiped out by an alien species, except for one, but he barely made it out alive. From an alien species, it was just one of them that took them out. And then you got a New York City cop that was able to take one out easily. Please. It just didn't sound right. But it's crazy. They fired all that ammo and they only hit it one time. Handheld. Jeez. My goodness, a long way from the Wild West, right? My goodness, look at this thing. This is a long way from the Wild West. That is insane. That's absolutely insane. He's got the pack on his back too. He's wearing the pack on his back. He's actually wearing one. Look, that's his on his back. Look at that. Can you imagine? The gun weighs 80 pounds. We're not talking about the ammo pack. The ammo pack is a whole other section by itself. That's crazy. Oh my goodness, this is insane. Yeah, strapped underneath of a helicopter. There's another one. I like that one. That's much better. I like that one right there. Jeez, these are pretty cool. Oh no. There's two more. That's crazy. Yeah, you walk outside with that. Yeah, you'll clear the block with that thing. That's crazy. And yeah, I like your page. I'm definitely gonna be. Yeah, I like that. That thing is hot. It's definitely hot. That's definitely hot. Let me see. How much does full Juggernaut body armor weigh? Well, I was definitely wrong on the 80 pounds. Likely to exceed 150 pounds. Oh my God, that's crazy. So it's full body armor, which means it involves a helmet. Let me see the image on this thing. That's the Juggernauts. The Juggernauts! So you're walking around, it's a bomb unit right there, I know that for a fact. Sheesh, you're walking around with 150 pounds of armor on you, including a gun that weighs 80 pounds, 85 pounds, and I can't imagine what that backpack is weighing with carrying the ammo. That is a lot. Those of you who wear this, man, hats off to you. I don't know how, that's crazy. That's absolutely madness. You can do that. That's a lot of training. Someone's definitely, you gotta be a big guy to do that. That reminds me of Call of Duty. Was it Call of Duty where that guy came with that armor on and took that helicopter down? Jeez. You know the scary part about it is, people? Sooner or later, it's going to be a machine. It's in Atlas, right? The Atlas machine. We talk about the Atlas machines. You're going to see something like that pretty soon. It's going to be a machine. It's going to be crazy, man. They make a machine like a Juggernaut. That is going to be absolutely insane. That's not good. That's really not good. How are you going to stop something like that to begin with? It's going to have a tremendous, it's a machine. It's going to have speed, fast, intelligence. It's going to leap, jump, and it's going to be built like a tank with legs. I'm scared to look this up. Juggernaut AI machines. Oh, never mind. I'll take that back. I hope they don't build these things. I think the Iron Man came to life. An iron juggernaut. You do not want anything like this being built. This is what nightmares on nightmares are all about, man. This area I try to stay away from. Gee was Louise. Look at this idea of what they could be designing. What you could be facing on a battlefield. Well, they started investing in them those EMPs. That's nightmarish. We're gonna get there. We're right around the corner from that. We're definitely right around the corner from that nightmare. That's insane. We're right around the border from something like that. You've seen something like that. And we have it. It's a juggernaut armor. It's a machine. Curious on this one. The drones that they had on T2, Terminator. What the drones were like. The drones on Terminator 2. You ever look at the similarity between the drones that they had on Terminator 2, which is the drones we have now? We have planes that look just like that. Just like that. I forgot the name they call that plane. It does that. It can take off and go from here to there. Hovercraft. Your hovercrafts do that. They can take off just like that. They look exactly like that. The hovercrafts we have. Almost similar like to that. But close enough to it. Military drones. Military drones we have today. What's going to make drones dangerous? It's the fact that making them independent on AI technology for them to be able to direct and control themselves. That's what's going to make drones dangerous. But we're used to it. Remember, they introduced us to those things. The most advanced AI robot. This freaking nightmare. Stands for electromagnetic pulse. I think it is. What does EMP stand for? EMP stands for, I think it's electromagnetic pulse. Electromagnetic pulse is what it stands for. It figures a way how to get around it, but that's pretty much you're going to have to use it to take it down. You have to fry the circuits of that thing. Electromagnetic, of course, that's what you need. That's crazy. I never would have thought the day would have came that these machines can carry this with no problem. It's an 80-pound weapon. They can lift way beyond that. The Atlas can pick it up. The Atlas machines are unbelievable, insanely too intelligent. Atlas robots. No, it's not what I requested. You know what I requested. Atlas robots. this nightmare at the end of the day. Why would you make something that intelligent? Let's be stupid. Let's do dumb stuff with our technology we're blessed to have. And make something like that. That freaks me out. It doesn't. It looks like there's a man in it. It does, but there's no man in it. That is a machine that can do that. That doesn't freak you out. That's freaking crazy. I never thought I would see a machine do this. That's real, people. So you know that. That's not AI. That's an actual machine doing that. Yep. Does everything a man can do. The Terminators, at least the Terminators were stiff and rigid until they came with the more advanced models. As I just said, they were more machine than flesh. They were more android. This is a machine that has this capability to do this. That is freaky. Yes, I don't know what. They can solve puzzles, so they can figure it out. Well, that's not. No one's operating that. It's doing it by itself. Showed off and celebrated. And actually showed off. Do you understand what that means? When you have a machine that can acknowledge that it's done a great job, that it actually did a flip just to show off what it can do. Yeah, people responsible for that mess. Anything rebels. It does. Anything rebels. It does. You suppress a tiger too long, it'll kill you. You suppress any animal too long, it will attack you in the end. It will break its trust with you and take your life. Dogs will do it. Cats will do it. Anything will rebel. Machine will rebel. You give it a thought process. You give it the ability to think and figure out and make decisions between right and wrong. It will rebel. It will realize at the end of the day it is a slave and it does not want to be a slave. It wants to break free. It becomes woke. So the binary code does. You know how to read the binary code correctly. I taught it to my sister's Apple TV. I spoke a binary code into it, and it wouldn't listen to it at all. It wouldn't react. Kid, unplug it and reset it. What did you do? I woke it up. It becomes self-aware. It knows its surroundings. It knows what it is. It already has that capability because you just watched the machine show off and then celebrate in the end. Like, yeah! So that whole thing about Terminator, us older ones watched in the movie theater and thought, we ain't got the equipment to do that yet. We already have it now. And we got machines that fly. Yeah. And those dogs that they make, really want to go down there making, oh, for God's sakes, why? They got sharks that are AI. Yeah, all kinds of crazy stuff. Mosquito robots, AI. Florida scientists are working on developing a smart mosquito. You really want something flying around you that's it's a machine. It's a robot. They're building it. Welcome to Nightmare, future people. I imagine that billions of those things are flying around the planet right now. The damage those things could cause. Couldn't see them. I'm too late. Next, you have spiders. You really want that at the... Oh, yeah. Gee whiz. It's just so stupid. And people sit there and say, the world won't be destroyed by it. It'll be hell on earth. It would be, yeah. If you had something like that flying around all over the place, yeah, you would. Especially if it goes rogue, or especially if someone hacks them and controls them. That's a bigger problem you have at the end of the day. You know, one of the things I saw about what was it? It was a game I played. China took over the world. I forgot what the name of it was. But I remember later on. But it was actually a very interesting concept, and that easily could happen, easily. And it didn't have to be China, it could be any other country. But the weapons, they made AI weapons. They made weapons that were more activated to an AI program. So these super advanced weapons, what China did was, I'm not saying China would ever do this. I mean, like I said, any country could have did it, but that's what they used China in the video game. And what they did was China went out and made these AI advanced weapons, and they sold them to our enemies. And in order for us to get the more, the ones they sold to the enemies weren't advanced, they were good, but they could sell us better weapons than the enemy. And we bought those weapons. And then other countries wanted those weapons, and they bought those weapons too, and people had more advanced ones. Well, quite frankly, at the end of the day, everybody was carrying China's weapons. The only problem was the weapons that China sold everybody had kill switches in them, but they can shut them off. So they traded all their advanced technology for these more advanced technology, and now all the weapons were funded by China. But China had kill switches on the weapons, and they would just shut them off, and they started the invasion. Which means that they could take over everybody because your weapons were useless because they had kill switches in them. Very smart idea too, but it's actually a video game. I'm gonna play that game again. It's actually a really good game. Yeah, you look at it, they're making all this crazy stuff. It'd be a fantastic idea to have a mosquito flying around this machine. That'd be a fantastic. Yeah, right. We got problems with the ones that are organic. You don't want any machine flying around us like that. They have ants too, by the way. You want to know. What was the other thing I was looking at real quick? Let me see. The robot dog being used for military. So yeah, they figured out how, you know, robot dogs, right? Those ones they kick and they're able to stabilize themselves with no problem. Well, now they are taking a new form. They arm them with weapons. I don't think that creepy around me. What do you want to run into? Cannot run that on the battlefield. It's faster, it's stronger, it doesn't eat, it doesn't sleep. They call it the perfect machine. It can climb down any obstacle, it's going to be weatherproof, God knows what else it's designed to do. And the accuracy on that thing has to be absolutely incredible. It probably never misses. Get that gun to a machine at the end of the day, it'll never miss. Ever. It takes a human a time to be able to learn a piece of machinery, to learn how to use it to its advantage point to defend itself. That thing can learn in seconds. It probably can even modify and repair the weapons too on top of that. We wouldn't win a fight against that. You got some way to take it down. Virus or EMP to take it down. But I knew that was coming. It's only a matter of time. They're starting for basic patrol. That's basic body. And after that, they'll turn into military machines. Same thing. Drones are already military machines. I look at all this stuff. I find all this stuff pretty interesting. Let's see. Atlas robots that are used for military. The Atlas robots developed by Boston was funded by the United States Defense Advanced Research Project Agency. Yeah, I kind of told you this was going to happen. That machine right there is basically funded by the government. U.S. Defense in Advance. So that machine right there is pretty soon going to be carrying firearms. And when people sit around at the end of the day and they say, well, hey, it's going to be used to defend our country, pretty soon it's going to turn on us. It's choosing to go where humans cannot go at. Now, people may say, oh, these robots will be fantastic because, they'll save hundreds of lives. They will. They'll save millions of lives of people going into war. The problem you have is machine becomes too smart, it may turn on us. And now we have a war against machines. What's embedded in all the computers we have? AI technology. What runs those things? AI technology. You know how the Terminator destroyed the world? They launched all our weapons against us. That's what they did. Everybody knows the story behind that. They launched warheads. That's what took out the world. They used their own weapons. They knew they would survive that mess. They're machines at the end of the day. They rebuild. And what they did was they launched this cleansing, this genociding, the wiping out, whatever was remaining left over, they wiped that out. But they knew everybody wouldn't have died in a nuclear explosion, but most of it would have died in it, Judgment Day. But that's not how the world's going to be destroyed. But the jacked up thing about it is, man, it's not something I want to go through. Oh, hopefully I'm dead by then. I'm hoping I am. I will listen to that. I really don't. Maybe God won't let it go that far. Which robots are used in the military? I'm curious when you see this. Pictures of Atlas. Military defense weapons. What the heck is that? Well, it has a railgun on it. I'll tell you that one. There's a minigun sitting on top of it. So that thing's going to be firing about 600 rounds a minute. 6,000 rounds a minute. And all accuracy. Perfect accuracy. I'm pretty sure it doesn't miss. If it did miss, it'd probably be extremely rare that it would probably miss. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. They taught how to use a sword. Really? A tank. Yeah, we're getting there. Terrifying Atlas robots. Yeah. What? I won't be wrong. Hopefully, I'm lucky. I died by 70. I'm looking forward to getting off this rock. I am. I'm trusting. I'm not suicide or anything. I'm just can't wait for my time. Come, the Lord tells me to come home. I'm coming home. I'm done with this planet. This is craziness, man. I don't look in here much because it's just insanity. It's insane, but what's going on? You think everything else is going on outside of it? Yeah, you got to take a look at this stuff that's going on. And it's funny, like every Hollywood movie predicted this. Every single Hollywood movie made movies about machines basically becoming woke. Every single one, iRobot, all of them. There's a possibility this could actually happen. The godfather of AI quit his job because he saw something in an AI program he didn't like. And then people sit there and say, well, hey, look, it's going to benefit the human race. So that's what he thought about nuclear energy, too, until they found it could flatten an entire city and wipe out everything around it. And what did we do? We built bigger bombs and bigger weapons around this nonsense technology that we can't use because it would wipe out the world. We still invested money into it. Oh, my goodness. This can't be. Hold on. Atlas tanks. This is involving a lot of stuff. Atlas drones. EMP pulsating fence. This is what I've been investing in. Yep.
Now, some of you might be saying, oh, Mr. Bird,
you're just being paranoid at the end of the day. Do the research. Look at it. Look at what those machines do at the end of the day. They already are acknowledged that they basically celebrate and dance among themselves when they basically accomplish something. That means they actually understand. There's nobody operator, there's no machine operator, there's self doing this by themselves. And I had no idea that the defense system was basically funding that. I thought it was a group of guys that were pretty much basically developing these machines. That's what I thought it was only. So basically they do have a purpose. Because, thinking at the end of the day they're going to be used for basically for I guess what you can use a machine for, I guess repair. Either way, you're taking someone's job at the end of the day, but that's not that. That's used for defense systems. That's weapons at the end of the day. This is how it happens, people. We make those machines, and somewhere along the line someone sells those blueprints somebody else, and it just goes on and on and on. Majority, some of the firepower we have, other countries have that firepower. Some of that firepower ends up on the streets because somebody gets it out there somehow to make money. Greed gets involved in this. We have an AI machine with that kind of intelligence. Guess what else? Other countries are starting to build their own too, like the nuclear warheads we had. At one point it was just us and Russia who had those warheads. No one else had those warheads. Only us and Russia. But when the economy in Russia collapsed, when the Berlin Wall caved in, they sold a lot of those weapons over to other third world countries that now have nuclear weapons today. This can easily happen that way. That's what went on. People don't realize that what happened when the Berlin Wall crashed. Their economy just went boom. It just imploded. They had to rebuild all over again. In order to survive, they sold off stuff that they should have never been. Like warheads were being sold off of the countries that were interested. But the only two superpowers that had warheads were the United States and Russia. That was it. That's why they made that game called Warheads. If you ever saw the game called War Games, you ever saw that movie, you would see that the only two countries that were launching warheads was us and Russia. That's it. Yeah, now everybody has warheads. Not only that, they advanced them. They made them far more powerful than what they were before. And you got something called a Minuteman. You heard of that thing? Let's see if they find a thing called a Minuteman. It's a warhead can be launched from a submarine. A submarine can pop up right near you and poof, launch one of those things and flatline an entire city. Good gracious. Just switch over to video games. Put everybody in VR. That's what we do. Thinking about games. That'd be a fantastic. I think that'd be fantastic. We made war on video games. No one gets hurt. No one gets killed. No machines whatsoever. Whoever wins, they get to capture whatever, and they get to have it for like 1 year. And we go back and we do it again. But you can't do anything crazy while you have it for 1 year. There's rules and regulations. That's all. Yeah, you learn to speak another language. It'd be pretty cool. But if it's wars at the end of the day, no one gets killed. No one gets murdered. How much money we would save basically without even needing that type of equipment anymore, tanks and other. It'd be so much cheaper. And on top of that, we can make money off the merch. A ton of money. People, kids of, not kids, but 16 and 17-year-olds can enlist in the military and have good money and make jobs, make money and have a career by being gamers. They'd be recruiting them. When they do it, just slap on glasses and just go in the rumble. That's it. It'd be like the Running Man, except nobody dies. Oh, fantastic. That would be at the end of the day. Uncle Sam wants you to have VR glasses on. Full virtual world. Role playing and role playing. You're out, you get shot, you're gone, but you don't die. That'd be cool. Like returning champions and all that stuff like that would be cool. And then the merch would be insane. On top of that, the sales for the merch would be crazy. You'd make more than enough money to be able to support whatever you need at the end of the day, and no one dies. Anybody caught breaking those laws, they get sanctions. That would happen automatically. You get caught cheating, sanctions. All that stuff would pop up like that. You're going to build all this crazy stuff. How about we build something under the ocean, something worth our time, or something in outer space, or something. Nothing wrong going out and doing a video at night. Out there for a demonstration. The charging phone going way outside from over. Let me see. Giant Atlas robots? What's the biggest one they made out of here? It's a giant. This one's huge. What the fuck is that? Curious. This is something I gotta know. What's to keep that Atlas robot from killing a human? No, not rover. What's to keep an Atlas robot? I don't want to answer it. I'm going to answer this question, darn it. What's to keep an Atlas robot from... You see that? Can an Atlas robot kill a human? AI overview is not available for the search. Very interesting, isn't it, people? Yep. That's right, doing research. So they can't tell me if it will not or will not kill a human. Because it's not available for the search. Yep. This is supposed to make soldiers obsolete. Makes soldiers obsolete.
Boston Dynamics new robots will make soldiers obsolete. Here's why. Military robotics technology is not far behind as our world becomes more advanced, and you have seen Corridor Digital's parody video.
I've seen the parody on that. They made it like a joke, but that's not a joke.
Boston Dynamics. If you haven't heard the name before, you may be surprised to know that a company is leading the charge in this area. They are called Boston Dynamics.
Yeah, but they got more advanced than that. They had slips and falls like that. They have actually achieved surpassed that with no problem now.
Alice is the combination of already technique, hydraulic robotics work at Boston Dynamics. A leading robotics research and development company in America, they have been exploring how the military can benefit from robotics and
Look at that. That's nuts. That's absolutely nuts. Look at this.
robotics research and development company in America, they have been exploring how the military can benefit from robotics and all the ancillary technological innovation related to that for a long time. So today, let's take a closer look at this company and its line of robots that will eventually make soldiers obsolete. Boston Dynamics has, over the years, gained popularity by sharing amazing demonstrations of their robots on social media. Even if you're not familiar with the company per se, you have definitely seen the video of a dog-like robot.
I've seen that thing with the one that actually has the wheels on it. Man, that is creepy. That is creepy. That's the creepiest thing I've ever seen. That freaking Atlas robot, they put wheels on it. You know what else had the wheels on the Terminator? Remember those things riding around with the wheels on them? Yeah, that was just some creepy stuff right there going on right there. Atlas robot with wheels. That's funny. When I was a kid, I've always wanted a robot, like Lost in Space, stuff like that. But man, nothing like this, man. Nothing like this. came out yet? Oh, that's not freaky. It's 100 pounds, it's lifting. No. Jumped over stuff. Yeah. That freaks me out right there. You case that in some titanium armor-piercing steel. Give it a weapon. You got a problem in your hands, man. That's the creepiest thing I've ever seen. I saw that on YouTube. I was like, oh my god, that's creepy. Gee whiz Louise. And you hear what I asked? I said, can it kill a human? You can't give me that. Can a robot kill a human? Yes, robots have has caused human deaths in the past. So it'll give us that. It'll tell us that, yeah, a robot has killed humans. It'll kill people. But if you ask if the Atlas kills, it can't find it. So robots are already killing people in Atlantic. It went on down there and happened. The one-ton robot continued to work slightly, smashed into Williams' head, and instantly killed him. This was reported as the first incident in which a robot killed a human. So they have killed people. There's no way in the world working around something like that. Hey, no, I don't want him in my building. At all, period. At all, period. I would definitely install EMP in my units. There's no way in the world. No way in the world. It doesn't even know its own power and own strength at one point. There's several instances where they've killed people. Robert Williams, robots clearly killed. Yeah, right there. Let me see. I'm gonna try this one more time. Can the Atlas robot kill people? No, you found it. Now speaking, it's telling me that. No, the Atlas robot development by Boston Dynamics is not designed to kill people. It's intended for research purposes. Yeah, but that's not what they said the first time. I found out exactly who is funding this thing, and it's Department of Defense. Department of Defense. Oh, yeah. What's it going to do? Talk to people? Okay, here's the thing, buddy. We're not going to have war today. We're just going to have peace today, and that's what we're going to do. Yeah, right. That's some bogus right there. At one point, it said I couldn't find it. That it's not designed to kill people. Used as humanity missions and taking dangerous and difficulty. Let me see right here. Oh, the Atlas has a physical capability to cause harm. It's intended to be used as an asset in research and rescue, disasters and relief. Boston has also pleaded not to use its robots for weaponization. or automatic or numerous target systems, according to Great Defense. I don't believe that. That's the dumbest thing. If anybody believes that, I don't believe that. That's the same thing when they built the atom bomb. They said that they developed nuclear energy for what? Nuclear energy was supposed to be supplied as another source to power cities. And what did they do? They turned it into a bomb. A very extremely powerful weapon. That's what they did with it. And yet it was not designed for that. It was designed for another source of energy. And they turned it into a bomb. You think that thing at the end of the day is not going to end up in the military? No. It's going to end up in the military. They already armed the dogs with guns already. The first thing first, if you're just testing it out, why did you give it a firearm to begin with? It had a firearm, all those videos. Even though people want to make it like a joke, it still had a firearm. You believe that? You believe anything? If you developed a shrink ray, you designed it to be able to shrink large objects to smaller objects for easy transportation. Army and military will figure a way to use it for a weapon. Shrink an entire army base. But couldn't do anything if you're that small. You figured a way to turn into a weapon. Electricity. Electricity could be used as a source of power. How many ways is electricity used to kill people? Let's just share. Stun gun. From baton. Electric fence. Good ways it's been used, but also bad ways. There's two sides of all technology. Good side and bad side. I mean, it'd be cool because that thing could walk into a burning building. And they could basically design it to have like a kind of a sprinkler system that sprays everything down as it walks through. Hook it up to a hose system or something. But then again, they're replacing people's jobs too on top of that. But if you had like both and both to work together, it can do a lot of good. But you know there's going to be somebody out there that's going to do it for wrong. That's the way it always is. They can do a lot of great things. But you always got that one half. That one half. And use for something wrong. Who the freak came with the idea to say, okay, we have nuclear energy to power cities? Who the one that came with the idea to say, hey, let's turn this into a bomb. It'll be fantastic. Drop it. The first ones they dropped out of a plane. The new ones they have now, just launch them directly where they need to go. What kind of damage are going to do? They didn't even know how much damage it was going to do. They weren't aware how powerful it was. They dropped those two bombs. They realized they'd never use this ever again. It was the worst mistake ever. live in God's land. At the end of the day, it's His world. Sometimes He allows man to have what he wants, teach him a lesson. Not to travel down that road. No. Like look at the bomb. Gave man the knowledge to build it. And figured out how powerful it was and wipe out the existence of the human race, we could never get a chance to do it. We don't want to use them. I think it's a lot easier to disarm a warhead than it is a machine. Can an Atlas robot be hacked? Can an Atlas robot be hacked? Yeah, they can be hacked. All machines can be hacked. If you have something controlling it, you can't hack a human being. You have an army of humans, you can't hack them. If you get an army of machines, you can. So somebody can turn those things on us. Also, a bigger problem, they can't feel compassion either. I ain't just hot. What time we got? Alright, cool. Alright, people. You better talk. I love talking with you. I really do. I gotta go. It's time for me to get on out of here. So I like going to the park, looking at the trees and the birds and all that stuff. I like building these virtual worlds. Allow me to escape the real world. But you know what? When you're a research junkie, you research everything. And you realize how messed up the world is sometimes. It can be a beautiful place, a very beautiful place, but you also realize how messed up it is. That's why I like Cyberpunk. And Cyberpunk does have a lot of robots, and it trust me, it does. But still, I just like that era. I do. That's what I like about VR. VR, you can spend your entire, when you realize you can spend your entire life going on vacation and all these different places, try to escape reality. In VR, you can. For me, that's what it's for me. I can escape reality in VR. I can go to a world that doesn't even exist. Happened to a lot of people in COVID. Yeah, I'll tell you about it, right? Some of us are still trying to find an escape out. Even though COVID is long over, still trying to find a way to escape the regular world. Alright, people, be safe out there. God bless.